Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cave Convos. This is, in fact, episode 7. We have another one already in the brewing. Lovely jubbly. Look at how ahead of schedule we are.
We are.
But anyways, I am one of your co-hosts, Dare Bear, joined by...
I'm Fred.
And...
Jeff Grizzly.
Okay. We've discussed quite a few things, but nothing quite amounts to the things we're going to be discussing today. We said earlier in the podcast that we would have themes. We have lost that.
Yeah.
Maybe we will bring it back, though, in this episode. Somehow, some way, we'll try to tie that question you have posed into it, and then we'll build up to it.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
We talk about what's it called?
What?
That we were literally just speaking about.
We were just talking about roguelikes. How Fred's into roguelikes now.
Yeah, how Jeff got me deep into the roguelike.
Deep into the roguelike.
It's roguelikes?
Roguelike.
Maybe if we just get the video
roguelike.
game bit
Okay.
over real quick, we might segue into something.
Okay.
Who knows? But
We always get the fucking stupid ass.
Roguelike.
We always do a video game segment.
yeah. A roguelike is a game where every time you play it, the level, it's a bunch of preset squares of rooms, but they're put in a different arrangement every time. So you
Okay.
never know what room you're going to get.
Is that like, what's it called? Like the Binding,
The Binding of Isaac.
The Binding
Yes.
of Isaac. Oh, so you're already familiar.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Fairly.
yeah. You get random items every time, and it's just like addicting. It's a dopamine machine.
We talked about the nuclear throne last episode.
Yeah.
That was what started it all for me at this point.
And now you've become addicted.
I started playing Enter the Gungeon now.
Into the Gungeon.
On
Enter
Enter.
the Gungeon.
Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah.
What is a Gungeon?
It's a...
It's like a dungeon.
Yeah, it's a dungeon, but like
It's a gun.
everything
Yeah.
is like in the game based around guns.
And actually, it's a lot of it.
Like the
is a
characters are
reference-
bullets you fight against.
Okay.
You know Baldur's Gate.
I might know.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the Baldur's Gate stuff is in Enter the Gungeon with gun puns
Is it because it's made by the same developer?
because
Or?
it's based on D&D.
Okay.
But that's just something that happened to happen.
I see. So, and what's going on with D&D? You know, are these like licenses or
I don't even
I don't
know.
think
is it not
I
copyrighted
don't
anymore?
play
It is actually. I think it is, but
They got books.
realistically, the what's it called is I know Baldur's Gate. I think they have I don't know what you call it, like permission, or they have like the rights to use it.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure that like the genre, like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were already in that universe.
Right.
But
But I think in the case of Gungeon,
it's like it's not the Mind Flayer. They call it the
Right.
Mind Flayer.
that thing they were trying
That's-
to turn us into mind flayers.
Okay.
And in this game, you have to fight the mind flayer, who just throws landmines everywhere.
I see, but a different mind flare.
Very,
Very
Even though they
different.
look exactly
not a
the same.
mind flayer, a mind flayer.
Mind the flare.
Mind flayer, yeah. Or
Interesting.
But
instead of
realistically,
the beholder having 6 eyes, the beholster has 6 guns. You know,
It's almost like a parody then.
it's fun, yeah.
Okay.
but at the same time, is it like illegal to use D&D names? Because Stranger Things, they do it.
I think a lot of them are based on like folklore and mythology, so it's kind of like
Yeah,
it's like trying to put a license on Loki.
true that. It's a
You
god.
know? He's a god.
Well,
I mean,
When it comes to creative copyrights like that, so long as you're somehow, in some way, you are transforming that creative work into something new, then you can use it.
true.
But you really should ask for permission, or else you end up like Kanye West, where your release date gets pushed back, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then one more time because of Ozzy.
Yeah, I wonder if they did. If they actually got permission. I feel like.
But like from
They don't need
who's
it.
running? Who is like the head of Dungeons and Dragons?
They have
I-
a whole wiki page, you know, like
Yeah, but a
I
wiki
really
page.
should.
Yeah, but like
I should know this.
a wiki page. What does that mean?
so like instead of just going to Wikipedia, someone made a website just for the lore of Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons.
But anyone can do that.
No, but for a game to have even that, it must be quite dense.
Oh, well, yeah, I knew that it was quite dense.
With that, so if it's that dense, you can take a little bit of it, and you're making something very new then.
It's like parody laws.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
kind of sketchy though. I'm gonna be honest. That's something I would expect out of
I think, but the thing
the
like
Asians.
The Chinese.
Yes, I'm talking about specifically China, who loves taking patents and technologies from the United States and all over the world.
And video games.
Ah, yes. Really?
Well, there's so many video games that are just Chinese ripoffs of Western video games.
like what?
But
Pal World.
I want to give them credit. Yeah, Pal World. I want to give them
Isn't
credit.
that's a
though.
ripoff of another Japanese game.
They're making a Wukong game that looks pretty fire. You get to play as a monkey.
Okay.
There was another Chinese game I played that was really good.
How do you know if they're
That,
Chinese?
like, I don't know if they're Chinese because it's like written all funny like.
All funny one.
But like, oh, all right. So the developers.
If it's like not a lot of letters, it's probably Japanese, and if it's really dumb and complicated, it's probably like Chinese. And if there's circles, it's
I think
Korean.
Japanese though, they just like
There you go. That's how you figure out
That's
which
how you
language you're looking
read
at.
Asian languages, folks. 3 of them.
Yeah,
But
there's
don't
only
they
three.
like translate it? That's what I'm
Don't they
trying to say.
translate it? Yeah,
Yeah.
but they translate it in like the subtitles or something.
No, but, like-
or in the voice dub.
Yeah.
There's like Chinese and English localizations of different games. People make
Where
like,
does Nintendo fall into this?
well, they distribute like everywhere. But
Nah,
there
I know,
are
like are they like down low with where you're putting the Chinese at?
down low. No, they make the best video games.
Right.
The Japanese have us whooped.
Yeah, they do.
They make the best.
I was
video
just
games.
wondering.
Well, Nintendo does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a huge.
Unfortunately, about Japan, they're not doing too hot.
Yeah, I was thinking, isn't there
What
like a what's it
happened?
called?
Their birth rate's not too good.
No, yeah,
Yeah, and the males are struggling to find property.
because of all the video games.
That is also a larger problem in Asia. That's like when you see video game and you hear about video game addiction, it's coming from mostly Asia.
Yeah,
You also had things like I'm not going to mention this because what's the point?
right. It's a
Um,
little
what
sad.
I did want to say is this though.
What was he gonna say? Do you
What
know?
was I gonna say?
No, what was he just gonna say?
I don't know.
Why are you saying it's sad then? I thought you knew.
No, we were talking about declining birth rates, and
Yeah.
I figured you were segueing off of that, right?
I want to say just one more thing though.
I thought you had some insight in what he was saying.
About what?
I don't even know.
What are you going on
Come
about?
on, man.
I was confused about because he was like, I don't even remember. But
Anyways, I wanted to just give this. It's called a PSA, right?
Yeah, public service announcement.
Yeah. To anyone who may be struggling with addiction or mental health afflictions, I hope you know that though it may seem bleak now, the road is much brighter ahead of you, especially if you go about finding some support. Things can be very difficult, but with a friend, things can be that much easier. So now we're going to discuss a very bleak subject that Mr. Grizzly had proposed.
Oh, jeez.
and you're getting apparently you just put him on spot. He's the one that proposed this.
It's just that you made it so profound, and I got it from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Ah, I don't watch that show
Yo,
because I thought
Kind of. It is kind of serious compared
is.
to the rest of it.
that is a good question.
The question being, does shame have a place in modern society? They had an entire episode about going to Chuck E. Cheese, and but they come back and like their old Chuck E. Cheese was all like racist, and they just made the girl robot had like big titties because it was the 80s.
Okay.
And then they come back and they've totally made it soft to the point where it's like as safe as you can get it.
isn't it a children's restaurant?
Right.
What do you want it to be?
But
though?
they're terrible people, but they brought in. I'm getting to it. Anyway, he gets into a fight with a kid over it, calling him soft or whatever. And then they talk to a guy. They're like, blah blah blah, whatever. You know, we our feelings. We're gonna talk about our feelings, and then you guys are gonna get back to it. And he's like, you're just gonna let us get back to it? Like, we got into a fight. Why is there no punishment at all to it? And he's like, well, you learn. You know, you've already come to the answer we wanted.
I
you
saw
to.
that clip. That
And
part.
then he says, if you're never punished for your mistakes, you'll never feel guilt. And if you never feel guilt, you'll never feel shame. And if you never feel shame, you'll never hate yourself enough to grow some fucking balls.
I
and
saw
I was
that. I
wondering,
saw that
like-
clip on TikTok of that part.
Right, because compared to like, it's easy to I hear somebody would call that barbaric. I feel like, you know, punishment is barbaric, but it was thought provoking.
But this is not a cruel or unusual punishment. Shame is something that is you know.
So
You don't think
been
shame
a
is a
part of
cruel and
society all
unusual
throughout-
punishment?
Well, there's so many different applications of it.
I
Yeah.
like time out.
But like if
Time out or just like scolding a
oh
child.
yeah, that's
Time out.
fine.
Scolding,
Like
but
attention.
some would say scolding
But
a child, that's abuse.
But is that
Just scold-
shame?
Sure, what, like
Because like when I think of shame as the punishment, I think of like putting that motherfucker on display and
Yeah.
publicly bashing him, like screaming at or like yelling at your kid or like disciplining them. I don't like that's. But when you said whatever, I thought you were like just to laugh at and point at someone
Right.
as punishment.
No, it's like the guilt's got to come from the shame. If the shame just comes from being shamed, you're never going to change.
There was a what would you do about this, actually, where a parent...
John Quinones?
Yes, John Quinones. What would you do? So there was the parents of misbehaving children. They got... Well, this is just a story. It's not real. They just did it as a scene. So misbehaving children, the parent is now going to punish them, and they're doing this via shame. So they're putting this sign on the child, that on both sides of the sign, so you can see it whichever way you're walking, right? It says something along the lines like, this is what I have done wrong, I deserve to be shamed, or something like that. And yeah, and some people stopped it, some people did. This seems to be a rather controversial thing as to whether or not shame should be a part of society.
Well, I think that's public humiliation, right?
Yeah.
So I think that, honestly, I wrote a paper on this, but I really don't think that shame can come from something like that. It can't be put onto you, otherwise you won't change. You'll just hide from it. You'll become spiteful. Guilt is when you feel bad for it. When that thing in your soul is just so leaden,
So just to
weighed
be clear,
down.
you're not on board with putting your kid out there and
No, not at all. When you feel bad, though,
yeah, that
like that, the shame you get from that, that's healthy. But I feel like,
it's growth.
how do you teach a kid to like develop that kind of conscience?
Well, I mean,
Do they do it on their own? Or?
some people believe that that's an intrinsic thing that you have. If you have the capacity to feel empathy, right? Assuming you're not a sociopath or something of the sort.
I want to say though, that's a very hard. What would you do? Because like I wouldn't do anything.
Right.
I wouldn't put my child in that situation. But like I'm not gonna be like, no, take that off your child.
Yeah.
Like what do you want?
Call
me to do?
it Child
neutral.
Protective Services.
Yeah.
We're a lawful neutral podcast.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. Like how many people? I feel like a lot of people just like walk past and maybe say to the kid like, yo, you're chill, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of them
Offer
like
some kind words like,
Yeah.
"Sorry, your parents suck."
yeah, sorry your parents suck. But like you're not gonna be like, don't do that to your kid. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would be like, yeah, I'm sorry, man.
I'm gonna be.
That sucks.
Listen, dude. Honestly, if I was walking, I might be like, nobody who sees you right now hates you. They don't hate you. They don't even give a shit, really.
Yeah. If anything,
And they
they're
don't.
more. Yeah.
It's just projected onto the kid. That's why it doesn't work. They
Yeah.
like made up this shame. Everybody will hate you and because you're wearing the sign. They'll think it's funny, and then they'll put him out on the street. And they probably will think it's funny, but they won't hate him for it.
Well, so like in the past too, though, they had like doofus hats and stuff like that.
Thumb scraps?
Yeah.
Who?
And
People
they
wear
would-
them like voluntarily?
No,
No,
the
that
teacher
was-
would make you wear it.
Oh.
You could have gotten that if you like as a punishment for a guilty verdict, you would get a dunce cap. And like, but
Man,
like the legal implications of it is what really makes it so severe. It's the same thing too, like prisoners wearing jumpsuits. If you see someone wearing an orange jumpsuit,
Yeah.
that's not gonna. Your first thought is not, I like this guy.
No,
You're like,
you get that impression that it's like he might be guilty. They got him. I mean, they got him handcuffed up. He's like hunched over. He's shaved bald. His hands are cuffed. He's got tattoos on his face because he was in jail.
and what you said
I'm just
was
gonna assume that guy's guilty.
what you said was
Innocent.
interesting too, though. Where you said people will run from it. Like, for instance, like if someone breaks out of prison, their first instinct is to get out of these clothes, right? To try to shed this thing that they have done.
But also, it's so that people.
Don't recognize.
Yeah,
him.
because if you
But
see
that's
that,
the
you
thing, though.
instantly know that person don't belong in public. They belong behind a cell.
They're recognizing that they've done something so bad as to where
Yeah, they did something wrong.
they've.
Yeah, but
And so
I did mention that killer. He killed that guy that he said, he was like, I'm just going to kill some guy who doesn't matter. He never realizes, or he understands it conceptually. Yeah, what I did is wrong. It's illegal. But he doesn't feel bad for it.
Well, and like there are instances too where children in particular will go to court and because they've done something that resulted in manslaughter. And they won't start crying. They won't really start seemingly caring about the situation until they've gotten the verdict and they were found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, like, you can get shame and guilt externally, I feel.
Yeah.
But maybe it takes a lot more than
It's almost like
just
when the punishment hits, that's when like the realization of how you've done really sets in, when there's like a physical consequence to it. The thing with like sending somebody to be alone or to, I guess, be in jail, but no, sending somebody to be alone, like in a timeout or just stand, you're not making everybody look at him and laugh at him, and you're not shaming him. You're just making him reflect. He can only vent to himself.
Right. But a piece of that too is he has to think about where his actions had gotten him, and he was in the corner by himself, alone. Which is to say, you've done something so shameful as to where you should be ostracized.
Right, he has to make that connection. He can't just be told it. But at the same time, like, when is it too far?
Can you really feel shame if it isn't associated with something external, though? You know, like the reason why someone who's like an alcoholic would feel bad about the fact they're an alcoholic is like if they have kids to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be like, man, I really love myself, but I'm just going to keep sucking down bottle after bottle. That's actually why they're doing it. It's because they don't care about themselves.
They don't care. They're just, I guess, indifferent to it. So does that guy need to be, like, punished, or does he need to be
helped?
Like,
well, there are rehabilitation and correctional facilities, specifically in Bridgewater, for such things, but they don't get treated the best. I'm going to be honest. Like, for instance, my professor was just talking about this. So they needed more room for patients that were mentally ill as opposed to just addicted. And where they shoved them was in this decrepit, rundown building.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we've made a lot of progress. Like, we're not giving lobotomies, but we still don't care apparently.
No.
That's what happens when you privatize when you privatize the prison systems, though.
Yeah.
Really bad idea, you know. Like,
it's ridiculous. It always gets fucked up when money gets involved, but it's at least in America, it's impossible to not have money get involved.
Yeah, money's always involved.
But I had somebody tell me that they don't think there should be prisons at all.
What's the alternative?
I don't know. They didn't really offer one. They were just like, they can be like rehabilitated or something.
Yeah.
Where?
Rehab centers they can be effective.
But do you think you can take a guy who killed a guy and like put him in a room with normal people and expect it to happen, or do we criminalize it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you
like,
kill someone just because, and like you go to trial and like show that you don't care, like that you think that person should just be put in a room and try to be worked with when they don't want to.
Yeah, maybe if you do something real fucking mean, you deserve to feel bad about it.
Prisons have a place, especially for like serial killers,
right?
Because like they're like you've proven that you are no longer capable of existing.
Speaking of serial killers, I love serial killer shows.
Why is that, Freddie?
I don't know.
You hate God, but you love serial killers.
No, I don't love serial killers. I love the shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, let it be known.
Bro brings up God. I never said I hate God either. That's crazy.
A non-believer is a hater.
Whatever. I don't care to talk about that again, but
yeah, dude, the theists work in extrames for sure. Like you either go to heaven or to hell.
Yeah, okay, I'll go to hell. I'll go to hell with the fucking serial killers.
It's tough.
But like, have you guys ever seen Dexter?
It's not so black and white.
Huh? Have you ever seen Dexter?
A little bit of it.
That's one of my favorite shows. I should really watch that. I've been watching it so long, but and also Pause.
Yeah, you really do. You really do love these serial killer movies, huh? Or shows.
Mm-hmm.
Movies too. They do like Silence of the Lambs.
I watched it. It's
you don't
mid.
like.
I mean, I like the movie, but
it's
like
mid.
I'm never gonna watch it again.
Okay.
Why did I watch it?
For Anthony Hopkins?
No, but like I watched it because it was like something going on. Oh, that movie, that show, Clarice.
Ah, okay.
My
Did
dad
you watch
was
that?
I watched a little bit of it. It was fucking alright.
Yeah. That was a one-hit wonder situation because they had a whole franchise for Hannibal Lecter, and the Red Dragon was decent.
Like the movie was good, but like I don't see myself going back to rewatch it.
I read somewhere that Ted Bundy wasn't actually like all that smart. He just happened to live in a small town, and the police sucked at what they did.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very difficult to.
I think I can trace back to
really have the capacity to know that much information. You know, like he would have to like know what the in and outs of their police departments are, the sheriff's offices. You can't do that in the city.
No, dude. Everything, especially now, with how I mean, he was back then, but imagine trying to get away with it now, with DNA and blood. Like John Mulaney says, back in the day, they would just see they'd be looking for clues. They'd have blood fucking everywhere, and they're just like, get them up. Now back to this hunch. Yeah.
You
So
fell from this angle.
Ah,
so-
shit.
now, like you leave a footprint, they find your shoes.
Oh, yeah.
They'll find where you bought your shoes
They
from.
they can trace invoices.
They find your
receipts.
credit cards. It's insane.
The thing that like I feel like got me into this though. Have you ever heard of the like BTK, Find, Torture, Kill? He was that guy.
Ooh,
He's a serial killer.
I've never heard of this individual.
I didn't either. This was a long time ago. I heard about him now, but I was watching I was watching the fucking mukbang video or something, and the person like telling a story, and it was like it happened to be about like this story about this guy.
Did it happen to the mukbanger?
No, he just fucking.
He just knew about it. He
This
was telling
guy,
a
Dennis
campfire
Rader.
story.
And
while it's
like
mukbanging.
I was so scared at first when I started like listening to the episode, but I was like I wanted to watch a mukbang, and then it started to get so interesting.
So
and
that's
like,
the BTK killer.
Yeah, it was stand for bind, torture, and kill.
No, did he perform these murders and bindings and torturings while he was the age he was right there?
No,
I was
he's
about
like
to
yeah,
say,
because I was gonna like
He was
like
an old man.
how he got caught was
He's bind and torturing
someone.
and killing them. These people must have been
Yeah, he
very
was a lot
fragile.
younger.
That's
like,
definitely going too far with the punishment thing.
What do you
What?
mean?
Once you start like killing people, I think you're going a little too far with it.
So what do you think about capital punishment?
Capital punishment?
Oh, I want to say he got caught because his daughter went into what's it called, DNA in me 23 DNA, whatever that shit is, and they matched the fucking DNA all the way back from when he did his killings. It's like recently. It was probably like a good amount of time ago. Like
Why
10
were they
years
tracking
ago.
the daughter though? Because he was already a suspect.
No, they just like you didn't hear about that. Like I forget which one it was, but like the police just like can have access to it, and they used it and they found a match.
So all right, so 23andMe gets to keep your DNA, and they get to give your DNA to the police.
Oh
I think
man.
I think that they just
That
don't
makes
ask
sense,
questions.
Well, I'm never doing that then. As much as I want to figure out what my genealogy
I think that's
is.
how he got caught.
Mm.
I know
That's
I know
ridiculous.
one serial killer
Yeah,
got
go
caught.
go splatter it on some crime scene.
Yeah.
I'm. You know what? I think
I
that
wanna watch a
23andMe
serial killer
should be
thing now,
ashamed.
bro. Shit,
I guess the
this is-
issue with trying to come up with objective, like, is capital punishment good or is capital punishment bad? Is like
It's
there's
good
so
for
much
people
nuance
like
to it.
that,
'Cause,
bro.
like, if somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy or Frederick Khachapuri, like, yeah, some people should get the death
what the
penalty.
fuck did I
Some
do?
You're a
people-
serial
some people
killer
should be
in-
put to death.
An
Nah,
aspiration.
I ain't an
But-
aspiration, bro. I don't want to be killing nobody.
We're wrong so often. We're like,
Like John Coffey.
That's
there
true.
was that guy who was like mentally handicapped to the point where he never could have done it, but it just got pinned on him.
Well, because
because-
extensive interrogations.
Yeah, they
Nah, but-
they made him fake a confession.
Right.
Yeah, that's fucked.
So
Like,
that
someone
guy
named-
doesn't deserve to die.
Like someone that goes by the bind, torture, and killer, like that motherfucker deserves to die. But then
yeah.
if it ends up that you got the wrong guy, that's where it's like, damn, we fucked up.
So just handing over these people over to the government and being like, yeah, maybe he lives, maybe he dies. You know, we'll vote on it.
What are your thoughts too on people who didn't get capital punishment but they got life sentences and then like
Like Dahmer, and he got beaten. To,
well, no, not even that. I mean people who were innocent though, but it took like 50 years for it to get proven. Do you?
That's fucked up.
And they know. Here's what I think. I think they should get some sort of recompense from the government, but they
But
don't.
how much?
They don't though.
I heard about one guy. He got like a couple mil, but like
Really?
it was about like a rape thing though, and the woman came out and was like,
So
that
no.
wasn't
So
cool.
that was a civil suit against the girl.
I don't know. Maybe
Interesting.
it might have been, or it might have been like they gave him compensation for the time he spent in there.
I've never heard of that happening though.
Because and even like it was, he spent. I think it genuinely could have been though. Like the government gave him like what his income would have been if he worked all those years. I think
Oh.
it might have been something like that. And like,
So no. So that's definitely to the girl. then.
No payment for
Yeah.
like damages.
nah, man. And like, even if what he
That is
got
the
was for
damages.
that, it was like not a lot of money.
Oh, you mean like?
I'm just saying, like, it's
psychological
one thing to
damages.
get paid for like every day you were forced to be in prison, like under a false conviction. but there's no additional like
He
compensation.
must have
for...
he either really enjoyed it or his lawyer is just not thinking, or she didn't have that much money.
How much money?
That's true.
How much money a day?
Honestly, if it were me, I would just be happy to be out of there with that money.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right. I wouldn't think about it until it was too late.
But that's like you are the unluckiest lucky person.
Yeah,
in the
that's
world.
true. That is so true. You just want to get the fuck out of there, and then you see like a couple million, but then when everything starts to settle down, you're like, holy shit.
I think I got
a
way
couple
more
million is nothing for what like just happened to me.
I know. I think if you're like
whole life derailed.
Yeah.
I almost feel like if you're like 90 years old and like
he was probably like 50 and he went in there in his like 20s. I think what I saw it was about that.
This isn't related to anything, but if you're like an 80-year-old man, or yeah, I guess maybe like you find out after let's say 50 years. I don't know if this has ever happened, but if like an old man, 80, 90. It turns out that he like killed somebody a long time ago. Not even 80, we're going 90. If you live to 90 to 100 years old and you killed somebody, they should just leave you alone.
That would have been Dennis fucking whatever.
Life sentence is usually.
And not. He was like 60.
The Zodiac killer guy.
Do they even know who he is?
They found him.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I forgot his name. But they found him.
Was he alive?
I don't remember.
There is an expiration to a life sentence, which is why they'll give multiple life sentences for however many killings you've performed.
What is an expiration of a life sentence, though?
I was going to say it's 100, but I think it even exceeds that. So, like, no one ever reaches it.
Mm-hmm.
It's theoretically possible, though.
It is weird to kill somebody who may have lived to 100 and get 30 years or something.
But what if you didn't mean to kill him?
Because there's degrees.
So the self-defense is different.
Or,
yeah.
Or if they were coming at you and you had to fucking...
It's all, I mean, it really
and then you were like, yeah, motherfucker, you ain't lived this... No, that's fucked up.
Well, yeah, self-defense, I think is fun.
And like,
if you gotta put yourself in self-defense in this day and age, you know what I was thinking about? Like, if Celtics win a championship, there's no way in fuck I'm going to that parade, bro. Like, what the fuck is up with this world that we live in?
Why don't you want to go to the parade?
There was just a shooting at the fucking Kansas City one.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
One person dead and like 20 wounded. Like, that's like, why is every single thing that goes on in this day and age the fucking shooting happen? Like, I remember going to the Patriots parade way back in like freshman year, not even thinking it. I would never go to a fucking parade now thinking like that. Like, I'm so glad I ain't in high school. Even college is scary.
Well, all right. As often as it happens, it's very rare that it will happen. And so, fret not. But
like, there's shootings like, it's like, I mean, a shooting is like...
Be aware, but fret not.
Yeah. Always be aware. In this day and age, if you ain't aware, like, I am sitting in a classroom. There's never a moment when I hear a door when I don't at least check what came in. Just so I can at least... I'm always aware of my fucking surroundings.
I always check the doors, too.
I'm a big aware of my surroundings guy in this day and age.
Who was the guy? I don't even know if I want to bring this up. Do you remember George Floyd, though?
I do remember Mr. Floyd.
That was like... I honestly, maybe that cop should have died. Like
that case...
I mean, again,
well, he's facing life, right?
Who am I to judge people? But that guy probably should have been killed.
During Black History Month.
I mean, at the least, he got to be for life, which I think he did.
Right? Maybe I'm wrong, and like these people, like the right wingers are right, and maybe I've just been brainwashed by the left. But when I was watching like the footage, I thought, damn, I just watched a man get murdered on television. That's rare.
That's rare.
So first off,
it's definitely crazy. Like that is why.
Probably not. That guy's not okay.
Yeah, but like to kill a guy. So you're just one instance is a fucking what's it called?
What did that guy do to deserve getting suffocated?
Nothing.
Over 9
nothing.
minutes?
But like, you think that guy is on the same level as BTK though? That cop that did that.
What is BTK?
The guy that I was talking about that killed all those people and didn't get found. He was like 60.
No, that
bind,
guy.
torture, kill.
I guess
binded, tortured, and killed.
So in terms of numbers and reputation, or I guess how he presented himself, that guy's definitely insane.
Yeah, and like, even if the cop is what's it called? He's a shitty guy, but like, as far as we all know, he wasn't what's it called? Going into people's houses and. The first kill that guy had, he went to a house.
So do you think that
he dropped his daughter off at school, and on the way home, he just went into a house and like killed people? I'm pretty sure.
Do you think somebody that kills one guy and somebody that kills 5 guys should get different like sentences?
Depends. Yes, actually, but depends on what the 5 were. Because one guy that killed the guy like that the cop did.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he deserves to be in prison for life.
Yeah.
But one guy that killed 5 guys in the way the cop did, who was like, I want to do that again. Like, that's a guy that probably should die.
Killing a kid is also probably insta-die.
Yeah.
But how many adults do you think it equates to one
I mean, I
child?
think, like, yeah, maybe that guy should have died, because, like...
I would hope
it's-
one, seeing as that child will become an adult someday.
I don't know.
I don't
I feel
know,
like
I mean,
Mr. Chauvin.
It's hard to just...
What was his sentence? Like,
I think it was life.
was it life?
I would
It
assume
should
it was,
be.
it
What
was
was
murder.
life? 40 years? 90 years?
So first I wanted to
It's
say,
hard to... What's it called?
Freddie,
It's hard to... What's it called, though? It's hard to determine a
He's not going to
sentence
survive a life sentence.
of what?
of killing.
Well, that's what we have laws, and that's what we go off of. So are you saying that you don't know if the laws are accurate?
Well, I don't know. But
And
I'm just saying
it
it's hard to
ranges
make
too.
the
I mean, in
decision.
some places,
It's hard to make the decision to kill somebody.
Derek Chauvin got
An
21
average person would think that. You know what I mean?
It's hard to make the decision to kill somebody.
You don't think that?
Well,
You don't, like, you
there are a
wouldn't-
lot of circumstances. Like
Sometimes
if
you
you
just
join the
gotta act.
military, you're not going to find it as hard as you would usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta act. Like sometimes you see a guy.
Nah, not in
Sometimes
that
you see a
case.
shadowy
but like,
figure over
but
your.
like if you're signing a document to have a motherfucker executed, pretty much.
That's the same as just killing the guy.
Yeah, I know. That's why
Yeah.
it's like hard to fucking. That would be hard to do because the people who are signing that thing, they're not the type of people that get behind a gun and start gunning motherfuckers.
I really got to know for sure that this guy did it beyond a reasonable doubt. I can't just be like this guy's the guy who probably did it. Probably is not good enough for me.
Well,
to kill a guy.
that's the thing though. With in these criminal cases, it's supposed to be without a reasonable doubt.
right. So, but Derek Chauvin just killed a man live on television.
Yeah, but
He got 20
Yeah.
years. I watched him murder.
Did he
a
really
guy.
get 20 years only?
21 years. And like, hey, maybe I'm wrong.
21
maybe,
years?
Maybe he did overdose.
He got 21 years. You looked it up.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
crazy.
sure the heroin didn't help, but he
So
just killed a guy.
So what would he get convicted of then?
I think he got convicted of just like murder.
The thing the thing that's just crazy about there's some people that 100% there's no question they deserve it. But the thing about some people is like you're gonna kill this guy because he killed somebody.
Second degree.
Like
murder.
you're gonna do what like it's so crazy that you're gonna do the exact thing.
Is that in reference to capital punishment or just generally like the eye for an eye mentality?
It's really a capital punishment, I
Okay.
guess.
He was charged with second degree murder, third degree murder,
There's no
and
way.
second degree murder manslaughter.
How
Three
is that only
accounts of
20
murder?
years?
3 accounts of
21
murder.
years.
He got 20 years.
Like that's crazy.
Oh well, he's also a police officer, and they have a lot of benefits, as it were. But
They have benefits against the law.
I
yeah,
don't know, I
yeah.
watched
So like
it
for
like
instance, like if you're ever in a court case against a cop for like a traffic violation, and it's hearsay, right? It's you versus him. The judge is going to believe him to be a more honest individual.
Damn.
Nah, that shit's corrupt.
Yeah, that
It's
is corrupt.
corruption, bro.
That is corrupt.
Here's what I have been trying to say for quite some time now. Happy
But I don't know, Josh.
Happy Black History Month. I could have said this at any point. We're going to be shooting every week.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month as well to Latinos who have been included in the African Hall of Fame and at BSU. Congratulations for not only crossing boundaries, but also being incredible as an individual.
Mm-hmm. It's a
It's
nice
not something-
gallery.
I don't know why, but for some reason, me having said that drained me. And going back, so here's what I
You know what
wanted to
that
say.
reminds me of you saying that?
What?
That reminds me of a clip of a streamer. Like he's not like a real streamer. He's probably just joking around. But like he was playing Minecraft and he like saw some shit. He's like, "Oh my god!" Like, and then he just like right after he was like I can't do this shit. I can't be a streamer, man. It's
Like
just so
that
fucking-
moment of awareness.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. These PSAs are really weighing on me.
Yeah.
So another point, what I wanted to say about Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. So you talk about how it was murder.
Mm-hmm.
That whole situation was very weird because originally you had the photo evidence and everyone had believed that his neck was not, that's not where Derek Chauvin's knee was. His knee was on sort of his upper back.
Yeah, that's like the argument.
And not only that, but the coroner originally, after having performed the autopsy,
Mm-hmm.
wrote down that it was due to overdose. After the trials began and the video started surfacing and it started getting all this attention, especially from BLM, someone else came into the coroner's office. It was a different coroner than it usually was for the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then they changed the autopsy report to better reflect the results of that trial as well.
Yeah.
So I really don't understand what happened there, but I'm not so sure that Derek Chauvin should have gotten a life sentence.
Oh, see, that was rash of me. That's why I shouldn't be judging.
Nah,
him.
I
It
knew
was very
Daniels
controversial.
was like that.
Yeah,
It was very controversial. And like what
I knew
happened to
Dan
George
was on
Floyd,
that
very
side.
unfortunate. At the same time, you probably shouldn't have a few felonies. You shouldn't allegedly have a gun on you. You shouldn't be so intoxicated to the point as to where you can hardly formulate sentences and coherently converse with people. But I'm sorry that happened to you, sir.
Where's the video that you saw? I want to see the video you saw, the way you were talking about it.
No, I don't know. I just saw the uploaded recording of him with the guy on his knee on him. I assumed that was what killed him.
I'll be
being
honest,
very
like,
rash.
and they even taught that, like that's what they were trained to do at the department. They changed that rule, and I'll admit, not a very good one. But like you see that all the time. It's a way of restraining individuals who are already handcuffed usually. And I'm like, what is that doing?
Do you think him doing that plus the heroin killed him?
I don't know if they tased him or not, but in that situation they usually would have. And if they did,
Like,
I definitely didn't help.
His heart must have been going
Oh, absolutely.
too much or something.
Because I mean, even if he was under the influence, he probably started tweaking then.
Yeah.
Like you don't just see those blues start shining and you think, wow, this is going to be a good time.
That's a bad trip.
Right.
That's a
That's
bad trip.
shit is going downhill right there and then.
Maybe you guys should have been a little more gentle with the guy he was tweaking.
So in England, their police have much more extensive training. It's much longer, and a lot of it has to do with psychological sort of what do they call it? That's what I had to learn for security too. They call it de-escalation. So the whole idea is you want to make sure that something bad doesn't happen. You don't want to walk up to someone and then immediately say, turn around, put your hands on your head, all of this stuff. And then, especially if he is under the influence, because it's not going to go well.
You do have to get rough with him.
I did also see this video where a police officer was walking by his car, he had a suspect handcuffed in the back seat. An acorn fell.
Oh my god, I heard about this.
Acorn falls on the car. He thinks it's a gunshot, so he starts going crazy. He does like 3 rolls. He thinks he's been shot.
Yeah, he thought he got shot.
And he's on the ground. He's just like he's playing COD or something. He's lying down, just shooting at his car. He's going absolutely, ballistic.
Damn.
It was the most surreal thing I've ever seen. He's screaming. He's like, it's.
Wasn't there a second cop too?
No, not that I'd seen.
No.
Maybe he
I
arrived.
thought his buddy was with him.
I don't
He
know.
started
The guy was like stopping people from like,
Maybe.
interfering.
That video was crazy.
Interesting.
That video was really. And
Wait, this was Floyd with the gun?
No.
Or Chauvin?
What do you mean?
No, this is a
Somebody had a
totally
gun. What are we
different.
talking
This is
about?
totally different situation.
Yeah, this is just completely different.
This
Okay.
just
Completely
happened
different
recently, right? This is
I
way
don't-
more
I
recent.
have no idea what happened, but I saw it today.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is
Okay.
way more recent.
You'll ask me a little bit.
I saw this
Okay.
at
I'm
Moist
sorry.
Critical talked about this.
We move quick because thematically we're somewhere, but we're nowhere at any given moment.
Pretty grim podcast.
It's
No, not maybe not grim.
That's
but
what the
heavy.
PSAs are for.
It's a heavy podcast.
All I know is you started talking about my fucking newfound love for roguelikes, and now here we are.
Yeah.
For what?
Roguelikes.
Roguelikes.
Bro forgets it every time.
Sorry.
I mean, if you look at
Is
it,
there
like,
also a roguelite?
yeah, roguelites suck.
What's
If you're looking at
the difference?
Nuclear Throne thematically is pretty dark.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the end of the world.
Well, Baldur's Gate is as well.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, isn't what's it called? Enter the Gungeon's pretty fucking pretty dark. I mean, isn't it like you're trying to get a gun that reverses the past or
Yeah,
something, right?
you did something like terrible in your past. So you get a gun where the barrel curves up and back at you, and you gotta shoot yourself with it with a bullet that kills time.
Okay.
If you do it without the bullet that kills time, I think you just kill yourself.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
But
I didn't know that. What's it called? Like the character did something bad in their past, and they went there to fix it. I thought there was just something bad that happened in the world, and the characters were trying to fix it.
no, dude.
Oh, these are all dickheads.
So like,
We're playing as dickhead motherfuckers in this game.
not quite. Like you're a space marine guy.
I plays the pilot a lot.
You're a space marine guy. There's like an alien outbreak or whatever, and there's people dying in the hallways and shit. And he goes into the room, and his buddies are like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die!" And your options are fight and run away. And he ran away. So now you got to go back and fight it, and that's like the boss.
So you have to do something after you fucking shoot yourself. Boom! Now I gotta fight him.
Like they're not hard. That one actually killed me twice, but the other ones are not that hard.
Damn.
Oh, it's an alien monster boss. So
Alien monster boss.
You just shoot yourself, and all of a sudden you're back in a life or death situation.
The game is good. The game is
that's
good.
that's some shit luck right there.
I kind of want to try Hades.
But
Is that a
that's what he
roguelite?
regret. That's why he went to get the gun. he regretted running away. That's why he went into the gungeon to kill his past,
Okay.
to do it right.
I see. That's a very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
The games can be very creative.
They're fun.
What about Hades? Have you even like played that? I want to play that.
That's
one.
a roguelite.
What is the difference? There's more story or something in a roguelite?
In a roguelite, you go back to the hub and then you talk to a guy and you're like, give me permanently more damage.
Oh. So you
And
can permanently buff your shit.
You get permanently buffed and you have to like work your way up incrementally. I like when it's skill. I don't like when it's, that.
I don't mind that, but I do like a
Give
roguelite.
it a try.
I'm gonna try Hades.
People
That was a
love it.
fucking huge game. I'll get one game of the year, right?
People love it. The voice acting is great. The art is great.
I mean, I'm gonna play Gungeon. I gotta play Gungeon.
But Gungeon is better. IMHO,
Yeah. Whatever that means.
in my honest opinion.
Oh, yeah, shit. I didn't know you were texting out here. I didn't know you were fucking using text lingo.
Fame and at BSU. Congratulations for not only crossing boundaries but also being incredible as an individual.
Mm-hmm. It's a
That's
nice
not something-
gallery.
I don't know why, but for some reason, me having said that drained me. And going back, so here's what I
You know what
wanted to
that
say.
reminds me of, you saying that?
What?
That reminds me of a clip of a streamer. Like, he's not like a real streamer. He's probably just joking around, but like, he was playing Minecraft and he like saw some shit. He's like, "Oh my god!" Like, and then he just like right after he was like, I can't do this shit. I can't be a streamer, man. It's
Like
just so
that
fucking-
moment of awareness.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. These PSAs are really weighing on me.
Yeah.
So another point, what I wanted to say about Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. So you talk about how it was murder.
Mhm.
That whole situation was very weird because originally you had the photo evidence and everyone had believed that his neck was not, that's not where Derek Chauvin's knee was. His knee was on sort of his upper back.
Yeah, that's like the argument.
And not only that, but the coroner originally, after having performed the autopsy,
Mm-hmm.
wrote down that it was due to overdose. After the trials began and the video started surfacing and it started getting all this attention, especially from BLM,
Mm.
someone else came into the coroner's office. It was a different coroner than it usually was for the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then they changed the autopsy report to better reflect the results of that trial as well.
Yeah.
So I really don't understand what happened there, but I'm not so sure that Derek Chauvin should have gotten a life sentence.
Oh, see, that was rash of me. That's why I shouldn't be judging.
Nah,
him.
I
It
knew
was very
Daniel
controversial.
was like that.
Yeah,
It was very controversial. And like what
I knew
happened to
Dan
George
was on
Floyd,
that
very
side.
unfortunate. At the same time, you probably shouldn't have a few felonies. You shouldn't allegedly have a gun on you. You shouldn't be so intoxicated to the point as to where you can hardly formulate sentences and coherently converse with people.
Hmm.
But I'm sorry that happened to you, sir.
Where's the video that you saw? I want to see the video you saw, the way you were talking about it.
No, I don't know. I just saw the uploaded recording of him with the guy on his knee on him. I assumed that was what killed him. I was
I'll be
being
honest,
very
like,
rash.
and they even taught that, like that's what they were trained to do at the department. They changed that rule,
Mm.
and I'll admit, not a very good one.
Mm.
But like you see that all the time. It's a way of restraining individuals who are already handcuffed usually. And I'm like, what is that doing?
You
For
think
you?
him doing that plus the heroin killed him?
I don't know if they tased him or not, but in that situation they usually would have. And if they did,
Like,
I
I wonder
definitely
if
didn't
his
help.
heart must have been going
Oh,
too
absolutely.
much or something.
Because I mean, even if he was under the influence, he probably started tweaking then.
Yeah.
Like you don't just see those blues start shining and you think, wow, this is going to be a good time.
That's a bad trip.
Right.
that's a
That's
bad trip.
shit is going downhill right there and then.
Maybe you guys should have been a little more gentle with the guy. He was tweaking.
So in England, their police have much more extensive training. It's much longer, and a lot of it has to do with psychological sort of what do they call it? That's what I had to learn for security too. They call it de-escalation.
Mm.
So the whole idea is you want to make sure that something bad doesn't happen.
Mhm.
You don't want to walk up to someone and then immediately say, turn around, put your hands on your head, all of this stuff, and then,
Right.
especially if he is under the influence, because
Yeah, if
it's
he's
not going to go
tweaking,
well.
You do have to get rough with him.
I did also see this video where a police officer was walking by his car, he had a suspect handcuffed in the back seat. An acorn
Oh
fell.
my god, I heard about this.
Acorn falls on the car. He thinks it's a gunshot, so he starts going crazy. He does like 3 rolls. He thinks he's been shot.
Yeah, you thought he got shot.
and he's on the ground. He's just like he's playing COD or something. He's lying down, just shooting at his car. He's going absolutely, ballistic.
Damn.
It was the most surreal thing I've ever seen. He's screaming. He's like, it's
Wasn't there a second cop too?
no, not that I'd seen.
No.
Maybe he
I
arrived.
thought his buddy. was with him.
I don't
He
know.
started
There's a guy who's like stopping people from like,
Maybe.
interfering.
That video was crazy.
Interesting.
That video was really. And
Wait,
he's-
this was Floyd with the gun
no.
or Chauvin?
What do you mean?
No, this is a
Somebody had a
totally
gun.
different.
What are we
This
talking
is
about?
totally different situation.
Yeah, this is just completely different.
This
Okay.
just
Completely
happened
different
recently, right? This is
I
way
don't-
more
I
recent.
have no idea what happened, but I saw it today.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is
Okay.
way more recent.
You'll ask me a little bit.
I saw this.
Okay.
I'm
Moist
sorry.
Critical talked about this.
We move quick because, thematically we're somewhere, but we're nowhere at any given moment.
It's a pretty grim podcast.
It's,
Oh, no, not maybe not grim.
that's
but
what the
heavy.
PSAs are for.
It's a heavy podcast.
All I know is you started talking about my fucking newfound love for roguelikes, and now here we are.
Yeah.
For what?
Roguelikes.
Roguelikes.
Bro forgets it every time.
Sorry.
I mean, if you look at
Is
it,
there
like,
also a roguelite?
yeah, roguelites suck. But
What's
if you're looking at
the difference?
Nuclear Throne thematically is pretty dark.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the end of the world.
Well, Baldur's Gate is as well.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, isn't what's it called? Enter the Gungeon's pretty fucking pretty dark. I mean, isn't it like you're trying to get a gun that reverses the past or
Yeah,
something, right?
you did something like terrible in your past. So you get a gun where the barrel curves up and back at you, and you gotta shoot yourself with it with a bullet that kills time.
Okay.
If you do it without the bullet that kills time, I think you just kill yourself.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
But
I didn't know that. What's it called? Like the character did something bad in their past, and they went there to fix it. I thought there was just something bad that happened in the world, and the characters were trying to fix it.
no, dude.
Oh, these are all dickheads.
So like,
We're playing as dickhead motherfuckers in this game.
not quite. Like you're a space marine guy.
I plays the pilot a lot.
You're a spaceman guy. There's like an alien outbreak or whatever, and there's people dying in the hallways and shit. And he goes into the room, and his buddies are like, "Oh no, we're all gonna die!" And your options are fight and run away. And he ran away. So now you got to go back and fight it, and that's like the boss.
So you have to do something after you fucking shoot yourself. Boom! Now I gotta fight him.
Like they're not hard. That one actually killed me twice, but the other ones are not that hard.
Damn.
Oh, it's an alien monster boss. So
Alien monster boss.
You just shoot yourself, and all of a sudden you're back in a life or death situation.
The
Yeah.
game is good. The game is good.
that's some shit luck right there.
I kind of want to try Hades.
But
Is that a
that's what he
roguelite?
regret. That's why he went to get the gun. He regretted running away. That's why he went into the gungeon to kill his past,
Okay,
to do it right.
I see. That's a very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
The games can be very creative.
They're fun.
What about Hades? Have you even like played that? I want to play that.
That's
one.
a roguelite.
What is the difference? Is more story or something in a roguelite?
In a roguelite, you go back to the hub and then you talk to a guy and you're like, give me permanently more damage.
Oh, so you
And
can permanently buff your shit.
You get permanently buffed and you have to like work your way up incrementally. I like when it's skill. I don't like when it's, that.
I don't mind that, but I do like a
Give it a
roguelite.
try.
I'm gonna try Hades.
People
That was a
love it.
fucking huge game. I'll get one game of the year, right?
People love it. The voice acting is great. The art is great.
I mean, I'm gonna play Gungeon. I gotta play. I gotta play Gungeon.
But Gungeon is better. IMHO,
Yeah. Whatever that means.
in my honest opinion.
Oh yeah, shit. I didn't know you were texting out here. I didn't know you were fucking using text lingo.
You actually spelled out the first word and then just abbreviated the rest. Why didn't you say IO? IHO.
In my
Oh, I am
honest opinion.
HO. But you said in my HO.
I am. Did I really say it in my HO?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Well, I just learned this new thing. I'd never seen that before. IMHO, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
There you go. Bears out there, you can use that one. Don't use it in emails for your professors, though. I'm sure they won't enjoy that.
No, that one's free.
The whole thing is free.
That one's free.
Even our recording of this video is even free. I'm not paying money for this. That's what the watermarks are.
It's true, but next time you guys want to say things that I say, you're gonna have to subscribe to the Patreon.
Yes, and not only that, but next episode, we're going to see about taking up Mr. Mr. Williams on his offer to provide us with a microphone.
Ooh.
Oh really?
And we're going to see how that goes, because now you guys won't have to worry about this fan noise anymore. And I'm sure the audience members will appreciate that.
You're not a fan.
Yeah, that'd be good. If that goes well, that'd be very, very good.
But hey, if you don't like us at our worst, then you don't deserve us.
you don't
at our
deserve
best.
us at our best.
Mhm.
Those original 30 people or so, I guess 16 now. Those 16 people have consistently watched our videos. That's who this new mic is for. The 40 or so who have left us since the pilot, don't come back.
Nah, we don't
Actually,
want
I do. I'm going to be honest. I do want you to come back.
You want them ratings.
Although you don't beg.
It's a simple life. All right. It's either we get views or we die. So I want views.
10 and 20 views. It could make the difference. I think we're going to be all right. In spite of it all.
It's sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you, but all along that way, people like to talk about probabilities. Probability occurs in the moment.
Oh,
You
Fred's got some.
can perform
It's not-
certain actions that will transform the probabilities that exist around you.
Just like Baldur's Gate.
Do not take your chances on poor probabilities when you could instead wait for the opportune time. Just as well, though, great quote here. Good things may come to those who wait, but not to those who wait too late. That's where trepidation comes in. You can't be afraid, but you also... what was that other part?
Hesitation is fine until it is cause
Yes.
for an action.
Be patient. Do not be hesitant. That's a very good way to put it. Find that middle ground. I'm not going to do it, but I'm sure you guys
You
can.
can stop and think, but once it becomes an excuse to not act, then sometimes you just gotta do something.
Right. Do not be afraid of change, I guess. That's the best way to put that. Just as well.
Moral.
Yes. Freddie, were you going to say something?
It doesn't need to be said. It was about Gungeon again.
Go back to it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
gonna say-
what?
Let's kill this.
I was gonna say, couldn't that be considered a roguelite?
Light.
Couldn't it be considered one?
Light.
Because two things. The one that really sticks out is the fact, like, after the runs you can go in and buy the better and new,
Like guns.
yeah, and upgrades.
But those guns,
You only can get them
guns
randomly.
get sent back into the random items. You're not even
But-
guaranteed to get those.
Okay,
If,
but
if you went into a stand,
there's
and-
a shortcut guy, a guy that literally allows you to go. If you have to complete stuff, yeah,
Mhm.
but that's like you can literally just go to the floor. You can start the run on the second floor.
But you're still getting random shit once you get down there. You're not going into a place and saying the
Yeah, but
permanent damage buff, guaranteed damage buff. Nothing is guaranteed, even if you skip levels.
Guaranteed start on level 2, and you're guaranteed 3. You can choose one of these 3 weapons. to
But it
start with.
doesn't put you at any advantage. You're actually at a disadvantage if you
Yeah,
do
you
that.
are.
Because you
It's
missed
true.
all the first level's loot, right?
Yeah,
Bingo.
yeah, that is true.
What a rookie move.
Mm-hmm.
Shortcuts don't
true.
get you ahead, they just get you further.
Yep. And I don't know. I like to
Isn't
start
further
fresh.
ahead?
Not inherently, right? What about the turtle and the hare, Freddie? That's what a turtle is, a shortcut.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's
you
what a
get-
hare is.
You get further faster, but you're probably gonna die.
Yeah, you're going to sit down, you're going to get all tired.
Yeah, but what if your only
You're gonna
goal was
burn
to
out
beat the
fast.
what's it called?
Yes.
It's the floor boss.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations.
That is what I use them for.
Yeah, that's what.
When I
Yeah.
played.
I see.
Just to be able to do it again, just to get another shortcut. It's the only reason to do it.
You use the shortcut to get a shortcut?
Yeah, pretty much. In a way, you'll do it so you can easily get to the boss. Because in order to get the shortcut, there's like 3 different bosses on each floor. In whenever you go into the boss room, a random one of the 3 you'll get, and you have to beat that without taking any damage, and then you'll be able to unlock the shortcut for like the next level. Will be underneath that.
But you also need a bunch of money from the other
Yeah,
floors.
you also need a bunch of shit.
It's kind of encouraging just do it from the beginning to get the shortcuts.
But you can do everything, and then when you only need to get the what's it called? It's
I-
hard to get all the fucking coins in one
Maybe
run.
honestly, maybe we should record. Maybe we should record and showcase. Because I was told that would make
Yeah, because no one just got to see Jeff's little what's it called? And then-
Gesture.
Yeah, Jeff's
Yeah, I
Jeff.
just
No,
did
no-
what I did.
no one got to see Freddie's gesture initially, and
And then Jeff
I love the
remake.
fact that Jeff acknowledged it because I've never seen that out of you before.
You didn't like it? You didn't
No, I'm
like
not saying I didn't like it. It's
No, it's
just that was new.
That was
That was
very
new.
suave.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. We're underneath that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little hand
Right.
spin. Here's a game for you guys at home. Move your fist in a circle in front of you, and then move the other one in the opposite direction. You probably can't.
Shit, that's really hard.
We're
Ah.
I go.
Ah.
Yeah, I can't.
It takes so much effort.
it really does.
Oh, I started going back the other way.
I've just done it so much that I can do
Wait, I need this one.
it.
I can't do that shit.
Right.
What were you doing?
So wait, this one goes like this. This one would have to go like this too. Am I doing it?
that's
Freddie,
both sides.
Freddie is now dancing.
Yeah, we're doing the fucking samba here.
So just do this.
No, because it's both forward. They're just putting out a weird
There's,
rate.
how do you describe this?
How do you
How
do
do you
it?
describe
One
this to the
fist
audience?
goes
Yeah, one fist moves like this.
clockwise, and the other one goes counterclockwise.
Yeah,
In front of you.
and that's the
I guess
challenge.
you can go like this. You know, John might go a different way. But that's way easier. This is hard. This is,
I'm doing it, I think. I'm
you
doing it,
have
I think.
One of them's like going up
It
and
takes
down.
so much.
but
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
the only way I can
hard,
do
bro.
it. Because if
That's
I
like when
try
you
to
like,
actually replicate the motion,
Yeah,
like, do
yeah,
this.
yeah.
that's much easier.
Yeah, it is. That is so much
It's
easier.
honestly hard for me to go the other way. Just because I'm so used to.
I don't like doing
This
it.
is not good podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So you guys
Cut
can,
this out.
you couldn't see it. No, I want to try to describe it. All right, you guys didn't see what just happened, but so
You guys didn't see what just happened.
we were performing
A
a
magical
challenge,
gesture.
the Grizzly challenge.
The
We-
Grizzly
we
challenge.
have to move one fist in front of you.
In a clockwise motion.
Clockwise.
You can put in a visual demonstration here. One
And then-
goes, so like from you put your fist at your chest and then you go up to like your chin and then you go in a circle.
Bless me,
And then
thank
the
you.
other way you go to your
Yeah,
chin
bless
down
you.
your chest and back in a circle and then you just move them in two different directions. Move your fists in front of you in a circle in two different directions. Knuckles pointing towards each other.
Yes, knuckles pointing towards each other. It's very difficult, I have to say.
I'm pretty good at it. I've
I'm
been doing
terrible
for a
at it.
decade.
Jeff has learned this particular skill.
Mm.
I'm doing it.
Freddie is trying his best.
No, I'm not doing it.
Freddie, it looked like you were trying to reel in a fish. There we go.
I
He's
can't.
dancing.
I have to say,
It's hard.
It's hard, bro.
He may not have completed the challenge, but he certainly did look groovy. It certainly was.
He had the spirit.
Yeah,
He
We
did.
like spirit
he had spirit with it.
here on the Cave Convos podcast.
Yo, hold my arm.
Hold your arm.
Yeah, just hold it. Yeah. Alright. Now try to get it going the other way.
which way is it? Wait, you're
So
going
yeah,
this
go
way?
ahead.
Move that one towards the chin of the chest.
So it has to be.
Yo, it's
He's
hard.
doing it.
I'm trying.
He's doing
Alright,
it.
now let go.
He's doing it. And he immediately stopped.
that did not work. That did not work, but it was
I
a
did
valiant
that.
effort.
I actually helped the guy by doing that, and his other hand just started going in the other direction.
Yeah,
Really?
I was starting to do that. So I was about to start doing that.
You were fighting me a lot. And
Yeah,
you
I
have
was-
to just let it go dead, you know?
It's
very,
hard.
like, cerebral. It's weird.
All right. So it's very difficult.
Yeah, that's that segment.
You-
That's the fucking.
You can't even force it either. That's what we've learned. So we'll talk about some BSU immersion, I guess. We haven't talked about BSU really that much.
Yeah, we don't talk
What
about
is there to
BSU.
talk about?
I'll talk about this. I have this interesting professor, philosophy of law. He gave us an open response question, 5 open response questions for a quiz, and it's philosophy, you know. So what's weird is he began informing us of how generous he was in the grading, how everyone started off with the highest amount of points possible, and he would just go in and just, nitpick just little things here and there. Would you like to know what the
Average.
graph looked like for the scores?
What?
Instead of a normal bell, it was bimodal or bimodal. So there was a lot of people who failed, and then there was a lot of people who did extraordinarily well.
Huh.
And the least amount of people got the average scores,
So that wasn't the average.
75s around there.
Why?
So yeah. he's
Why?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different reasons for what it could be. I mean, well,
What was he doing that made that happen? He was nitpick.
he said, yeah. So I mean,
He's being an idiot. It seemed like.
with the open responses, it's very difficult to. So even if you want to say what he wants you to say, the wording often could trip you up because you're trying to reiterate.
What did you get?
You know what? We're talking about shame. I got a 54. I was on the other side. And-
we're talking about.
And you were talking about what do you think is the cause of that? I didn't do any of the readings. So, I mean, I thought that the lectures would be sufficient.
You were sadly mistaken.
He is
I've been in that
very
situation.
he's very disorganized.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, so I think I guess the reason for the bimodal sort of test results is because a lot of people are just not used to the way he teaches.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do as well on this bio test I took as I would have liked. And I'm kind of in that boat right now.
It wasn't a 54 though, was it?
It was a 68.
Right.
But there were definitely people in that class that like, I knew they did well. The
I
ones
see.
that they're like, the teacher will ask a question and they'll go, "Is it the smooth endoplasmic reticulum?" And he'll go, "Oh, good job, son."
Right.
Yes,
you get a gold star.
Like, I don't know, dude. I wish I could talk like science, but
I actually did very well in that class.
yeah.
I got
Who's your
I got a 100 actually. I had Yvonne Corsi.
Well, we got a guy who does it backwards, so you got to watch the lectures online. But really, it's just like
What are the lectures for?
kind of going over it. Honestly, your best bet is like, I don't even know what to do, man. I just gotta study. I gotta start taking notes.
Yeah.
I really gotta.
Does he have slides at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like slides, but how am I gonna learn from slides? It's
I
just
would-
memorizing information.
Yeah, I hate that.
So
I have to do
I
this
have an online class, statistics and business and economics.
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest. That's something that could really trip people up. People often talk about statistics as being rather difficult.
Mhm.
I have never in my life been saved as many times as I have now by an Asian man on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have single-handedly taught me how to use a TI-84 calculator.
Asian, including Indian.
Yes,
It's all one continent, boys, at home.
the Mongolians, everyone. Oh, actually, what are they called now? It's not Mongols.
It
Is it
I think it is
Mongolia a
still
country?
Mongolia. It is still
All right,
Mongolia.
so then yes. So then never mind.
They're still going strong.
Yes.
Love those guys.
Um,
Probably
Thank you,
related
Genghis.
to them.
Yeah, I will. All Asian people share some. I think it's like, what is it, like 80 or 90% or something? Or
Yeah.
even 99.
That rules.
That's incredible to think about.
I wish I had an entire race of people just to look like me. And that would be called the Jeffreyites.
Did
They'd be my
bless you.
chosen
Thank
people.
You doing all right there?
I'm good.
All right, salute.
And speaking of that, what about the Jeffrey Land thing?
Yeah, Jeffrey Land. It's
And
an island.
what's it called? No, but the song.
I don't remember it.
You remember the song?
I don't know. I'm making,
Nah, the what's it
I'm
called?
making songs.
The
No,
Jeffrey
the
Land
song.
song.
My name's Jeff song. You don't remember the My Name's Jeff
Oh, the
song?
one I sent you? I don't
Yeah.
remember how it goes, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What about it?
Remember in that video, there's an island, and they're all his friends, and they're
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
all
yeah.
Jeff.
The Mario. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
it's like from a Mario game.
we
yeah.
watched. I found a meme where it was like some guy singing a My Name Jeff song, but he represented himself with these little ball guys from Mario Sunshine. I don't know why we brought this up.
I don't remember.
Because that's my name.
Wait, shit. What were we talking about before?
I don't know. Well,
Why did I bring that up?
Can you repeat what you had just said?
it's really not important.
Is it important?
Yeah, I mean, what were we talking? Depends. What were we talking about before? I forget.
We were talking about how everybody's related to, everybody in Asia is related to Genghis Khan.
Yes.
'Cause he
I don't
fucked
remember.
a lot.
Something that you said made me. Oh yeah, you said something about Jeff Island.
Yeah, it would be
Oh,
great.
yeah,
to
that's
have
why I
an
brought that
island
up.
that's full of Jeff.
Yeah, you said something about that. Is what made me
So
think of that.
would you like to have almost like a hive mind, where
It
you
would
could
be-
infect people with the brain?
Yeah,
of
would
Jeff?
you be
It
the
would
mind
cool
flayer in the
to
situation?
control them, to be the absolute over Jeffries. I just feel like there should be like multiple of me working together to a common goal.
It would make it much easier.
So
wouldn't
you
it?
would be like a Pokemon in that situation.
I would be the Pokemon trainer.
Nah,
But
you would be a
instead of-
Pokemon
instead of
because
Being the Pokemon, I would just do all the shit that I would never do if there was only one of me. I'd be like, let's see what eating these berries will do to me.
you would be the Pokemon and the trainer.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm connected to all of them.
Yeah.
I want to be a hive mind.
That's what kids are for.
No, because you got to raise them to be individuals. or
I'm
they'll never
kidding.
function.
That's a
okay.
joke. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about, buddy.
Sorry. I just
Jared
like
Dillon
to.
put his
I,
kid out on the fucking side of the road with a
yeah,
sign.
I just like to
shame on him.
abuse. I'm just an abusive kind of guy.
I didn't mean to come at you. It's just my son Nelson's really been aggravating me lately.
I see.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
What has Nelson been up to actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You don't know, do you?
Yeah, I don't know. He had his birthday. It was Nelson's birthday.
Do you know what the date of Nelson's birthday is?
It was a bit ago.
Oh,
Me and
okay.
Jeff actually sent a.
Yeah.
Did you get him,
uh,
a cake, some present, or a card, anything?
I didn't know, like, what was up.
We actually saw a couple
I
of
don't know
videos
if,
on
like,
Instagram
somebody
about
else was
Nelson.
getting
What
the
was-
cake, or
Remember the Nelson videos?
You-
I
you-
forget, what were they?
You just
Nelson?
Remember the videos we said was Nelson lore?
Oh yeah, like I think it was a video of like it was like a meme about drunk driving with your son in the backseat.
Ah.
You're like, oh, that's like Nelson.
that's
Yeah,
it's a
Nelson.
story of Nelson's life.
I'm not that mean to him. Come on. I mean, it was his birthday.
You got a
That's
cake.
great. I think he had a cake. I didn't go.
Absentee father. I was going to bring up this. This is a poem by Rumi. It's called
Rumi?
Yep, Rumi. It's called Community of the Spirit. I'm not going to say all of it because I think the later half of it is kind of poor, but the first half is pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a community of the spirit. Join it and feel the delight of walking in a noisy street and being the noise. Drink all of your passion and be a disgrace. Open your hands if you wish to be held. Close both eyes to see with the third eye. And then that's it. That's when it starts to turn sour.
Love like you've never been hurt before.
You know what you're saying about what's called?
What?
A poem that's like... Odysseus be a poem, right?
It's an epic.
It's an epic, which is a prose, I believe. I don't think
Like
that's
a
a poem.
long spoken tale.
Oh, that was
He just kind of like yapped on about how his favorite guy went to a cave and fought a cool guy, and then went to an island and fought a cool guy, and that is good.
The Cyclops was very cool.
No
You guys
man
fuck
has
with Odysseus?
blinded me.
Yeah.
I can't believe he came up with that shit a million years ago. I never would have
Yeah,
thought of it
facts,
now.
bro.
And I'm in the most intelligent generation.
What was the line?
Homer, bro. Homer's a G for that shit.
Yeah.
What else did Homer do?
Uh,
Anything good that we know of?
I think he died.
There it is. Oh, he also has so he has the Iliad.
Oh yeah, the Iliad, which is how he got there. I think that took another 10 years.
Huh?
So
It's all basically. It's like this. It's like that was like the first like series, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like franchise.
The
Iliad-
prequels? He did a prequel?
The Iliad is about his like
Yeah.
favorite He-Man guy going into the Spartan War and being like a genius. Like, let's hide in the swords, and then we'll get them.
And then what?
And then they fight, and then
Odysseus' tale happens?
somebody, and then he like pisses off Poseidon.
Yeah,
He
that's
pisses off
Odysseus' tale.
Poseidon.
Can't go home.
Yeah, then it becomes an Odyssey. Then it's the Odyssey. But the
Yeah.
first book is the Iliad. That was
Telemachus.
Homer's first one.
I will never forget. I was in Mr. Bujaka's class, and for some reason, I just could not say his Odysseus' son's name,
Telemachus.
and I would say Telemachus,
Yeah.
because if you Google Translate it, it's supposed to be Telemachus in Greek, but they all said Telemachus, and I kept saying it the other way, and it drove them mad. So now I started saying it their way.
You conformed.
Yeah.
I get it.
But it's kind of pretentious to say things in their language, though.
That's true.
Sometimes.
I was at a restaurant and I was with my friend, and I ordered this thing called the Qilong Bao, and he was like, "It's really funny to hear you say that in an American accent." And I was like, "Did you want me to throw a Chinese accent?"
Yeah, that would have been that's
That
like,
would have felt terrible.
that's almost
wrong.
insensitive, you know? And especially it was an Asian person that was serving you.
Yeah, let me just
Come on
John
now.
Cena it, you know?
What did he do?
He just speaks Chinese in an American accent.
What's it called? Bing chilling.
Yeah.
Bing Jilly. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Bing
I don't
chilling.
know. I mean,
That
if,
motherfucker
if,
why it
been
sounds so
chilling,
funny.
if he's saying it phonetically canonical with Mandarin, then fine. But do you think he is, or do you think he's just guessing?
I think he's just putting the American accent on the Chinese word.
Is it supposed to be facetious, or is he's trying to take it seriously?
Well, WWE is very big over in China also.
Okay.
So that's why he always be saying bin chillin'.
John Cena.
What is that? Isn't it like ice cream?
Yeah.
Isn't it like the
it
thing
is.
about he
yeah.
likes ice
Since
cream?
John Cena's like the main guy of
It was an
wrestling,
ad for ice cream.
they were like, "Hey, you got to learn a little bit of Chinese. You got to speak a little Chinese for
Right.
him." And now he knows Mandarin a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not
Now the
afraid to use
motherfucker
it
bing
either.
chilling.
And
Bing Jilly.
and like China got all mad at him because
Why?
I say
Why?
China like they're a hive mind, but a large amount of the Chinese populace got upset with him because he accidentally said like Taiwan was a country.
Ooh, that's really tough.
Yeah, so he had to make
How
an
dare you give
apology
freedom to
video,
people.
also in Chinese.
Okay. Fully in Chinese?
They're all in Chinese.
It's impressive.
It's not meant for the
You
American
know, like
people.
people talk
At
about
the end, he signed off with bing chilling.
I wonder
Yeah. Bing Jilly. Are we Bing Jilly?
Bing chili. That means ice cream. They don't like when you say that.
They don't like ice
They
cream?
don't like ice cream.
I don't know. It's like
It's like if an Asian person said
because of the
hamburger.
video, because of the video.
It's
They
like
see us
it's like
mocking.
yeah, it's like going Hawaiian.
Nah,
saying
but we
aloha
ain't
or
mocking
something.
Yeah.
them. We mocking John Cena.
Yeah,
We ain't
but
mocking the fucking Asian Or
you know what
anyone
it's
from
like?
fucking
All
China.
for one for all.
It's like it's coming back from a trip to Mexico and saying "Hola" to everyone.
There you go.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's just annoying, you know.
You gotta have some respect.
Like
if it's like if I relate to it because it's like if somebody walked up to me and said, "My name's Jeff," like I've heard that a million billion times. Everybody thinks they're the Everybody thinks they're the first person to come up with that.
I didn't. If I did, I knew I wasn't.
Yeah, I came from a
everyone
movie.
brings it up at least. It's like a
Channing
mandatory
Tatum.
conversation.
You look like Channing Tatum.
Do I? I have to look up who that is.
There's a lot of.
You don't know who that is, bro?
Do you think he looks like Channing
You
Tatum?
don't know who Channing Tatum? He's the one who says my name is Jeff.
Yeah, that is Jeff.
Yeah. I tried to avoid the video, but I can see that.
Bro's never seen the video.
Yeah. He's got my goblin-esque look.
Yeah, you look like Channing Tatum, bro.
I was gonna say something, but I got so thrown off by that.
Sorry. I didn't mean to shame you for not knowing who Channing Tatum was.
Doesn't bother me, dude.
It doesn't bother. You gotta fucking no shame.
I've had a lifetime of it.
Shove your sorries in a sack. Do you know where that's from?
No,
Pineapple Express. You've never seen that movie?
I have. I don't fucking.
You didn't like it though.
I did. I didn't like it enough to watch enough to be able to just quote it like that.
If you like something, like if I laugh at something, I'm gonna remember it.
That's true.
You know what that makes me think of?
What does that make you think of, Freddie?
That's Superbad. That's me. I can quote Superbad.
That's how I judge how much, like, whether or not a movie was quote unquote good. Like, I know critics understand like shots and stuff, and there's like metrics to it. But for me, it's really just how much I think about it after I watched it.
Right.
There's so many movies that I watched, and I was like, that was cool, and it just slid right off of me. But I never ever forgot about Gran Torino.
Oh, I've never seen.
And I don't think that's like a regarded film, but it stuck with me.
That's a F1 film, isn't it? Or like racing?
It's Clint Eastwood. He is an old racist man who loves guns.
Gran Torino.
And his shitty kids want him for his car.
Gran Turismo.
Ah, there you go. I saw the trailer for that when I went to see Guardian. But in Gran Torino,
that's a good movie.
This old racist man moves into like a mostly, I want to say Chinese, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's just minorities.
Mostly Asian neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's
like black people.
Income.
Like there's just all minorities.
Yeah, very diverse. There. So, and he doesn't like it. I don't know why he moved there because he clearly doesn't like it.
I think it's almost like the case of Brockton where he lived there and then it got bad.
Yeah, it could be.
Because
he looked like he was fairly wealthy. He always had the house and he always had that car. But, so an Asian family moves in. He doesn't love that. But then one
he calls
day,
him gooks, right?
Calls him all kinds of slurs.
Because he was in the military, the Vietnam War.
And then one day, another like Chinese gangster or whatever, who I guess was like they owe money to, was like beating the guy up in Clint Eastwood's lawn.
In front of the kids.
So Clint Eastwood comes out of the house with a double-barrel shotgun, and he's like, "Get the fuck off my lawn! Like, go do this somewhere else." And the guy's like, "Well, go back in the house, old man." He says, "I'm gonna shoot you in the face, and then I'll go back in the house."
Such a badass in the movie.
So cool.
I want to watch this now.
Yeah.
It's a cool movie.
And then he goes back, and they're like, "Thank you for like getting rid of that guy." And he's like, "All right, go fuck yourself." And he goes back in the house.
He's so blasé about everything.
Later, like the daughter just gets hit on by these guys, so he walks up to them and he like
this is the
finger guns at them.
People, right?
So he ends up being like a.
He does finger guns at them
at the corner, like.
And then he pulls a real gun on him.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
He's so cool.
It's really cool, but it's also like no one's ever doing that in real life.
No, I've heard it called like a white savior film, and that's why it's like flawed. But I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the movie, I'm not gonna spoil it, but he solves it without guns.
And he also starts to assimilate more and more with the minority.
He gets along with them. They become like his family.
Neighbors.
He gives the car to the neighbor's son.
Yes, he practically adopts him.
It's so sweet.
And I think that I want to say that's what the message is supposed to be. It's not so much that the white savior thing. I guess it is. That's pretty much what he's saying. It's like, but it's just Clint Eastwood.
I think the message is that there is good and cold-hearted people.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I got from it.
Or even just everyone has capacity to change.
He's good and old racist white man.
Yeah, could be.
All men are great, for all men have the capacity to change, and with change comes the capacity for variable opportunity, and with variable opportunity comes the capacity to be great.
You just said that, right?
Huh?
Like that's your own quote.
Yeah.
Like whenever you start speaking like that, I'm always like, who are you quoting right now?
Yeah, that felt profound.
Yeah.
I've been thinking for a long time.
Yeah, you make a good philosopher.
Apparently not. I got a 54 in law philosophy.
That's other people's philosophy.
Scoble. You dastardly man with your fedora.
I don't know. I like.
Bro's coming for his fucking.
No, you're a good guy, I'm sure, but I just don't. I don't
Oh,
appreciate
fucking-
being in this position. You know?
I did real well in the philosophy class. I love thinking about shit like that. But I'm not gonna get a job like that. I need to be a scienceman.
You don't need to be a scienceman.
I like it.
You do like science. Well, here's the thing. Here's a little fun thing actually. I just realized this. You could get any major. You could then get a minor in statistics, and then you could perform scientific discoveries on behalf of that field.
Sure.
And that's like ideal because we're in the world of technology, baby. I'm not going to be touching a fucking pipette. What is this? I'm not going to be a pharmaceuticist. That's not a thing, but it could be. Pharmaceutical companies. I'm not going to work for a pharmaceutical company. That's what I
No.
meant to say.
But
I didn't like the biology lab.
biology lab, I don't know. The lady
The
runs
whole
it for me.
DNA, like
I like looking at things through microscopes. I
yeah,
like
that's cool.
cutting things open. Well, not so much.
Onions, like
No, onions. And but geez, actually
Ogres.
get into like.
I like onions.
Onion. It's
that's a profound quote, huh?
but
What, Shrek?
onions are
Yeah, onions are like onions. My middle name means onion in French,
that rules.
What's your middle name?
Layson, but it also is Hindi for.
God amongst men.
I have no idea.
Mine's William.
Really,
Mine's George.
That means William.
really, I would have. I would feel like it should be Reginald. You know,
Mine's
should-
Wilbur.
you should
Change it.
like add that to your name.
I really think Reginald is an S tier name.
Yeah, that's me. I got that. I got gifted that in my years. I wasn't even born with it.
You know
I was
what?
gifted it.
I was playing Lethal Company. I saw this line, and my brain was just immediately like, "This thing is called Reginald." Totally unrelated to your thing.
Yeah. You really
It's one of
leave a
those
company?
like,
Lethal Company, I have not.
it's one of those magical names that just came to you. As like I saw the light of it.
Did I ever tell you that I have a theme song?
You do.
Let's hear
Like,
it.
isn't that incredible?
Wait,
this is like- 'cause what you said-
Darian, is it that?
What? Kind of.
DeLorean.
No,
That's
that's a different thing.
yeah. We have a theme song, me and Ball.
Yeah, for our former basketball biddy team,
Really?
we used to quote unquote put him in the coffin. Yeah,
I guess.
do you remember that?
No.
Whenever we would take charges, we would put him. We would say that. But your dad loved when we took charges.
Really?
He would be ecstatic every time,
What's
Yeah.
taking a
smiling
charge?
ear to ear. Huh?
Yeah.
What's taking a charge?
What?
What is taking?
Like
a
when
charge?
you're like when a guy's going in for a layup or like something and they're
Oh.
running down the thing and you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like stand
Oh.
there.
You plant your feet.
Yeah,
You plant your feet so they run into you and you be like head back.
Put him in a coffin.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you're just like sitting there.
Well, yeah, because like you're supposed to do this. Like that's usually what they do. Because like
Cause like
if you get a knee to the balls, you're out.
Yeah.
You're out for a while.
because it realistically it's kind of like a hit or miss type thing because you could get called for the foul if you're not like set in the position.
What a design flaw.
Well,
Having
no.
your balls right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
A lot of animals have their testicles and their penis protected by like their legs, for instance. It's underneath
Yo,
them.
that's so true.
Or like I believe it's squid. Their testicles are inside them, right?
No, but like think of
Yeah.
like a bear and a dog. They stand like it's like behind. Like this is like where they are in front, where they're gonna be going, and like where they're gonna be. Like we're just like sitting like this. It's right.
Yeah,
It
we're
is
going-
in front of us.
Yeah.
We're going dick first, dude. I walked into a wall with a full hard on and broke my nose.
It took me. I don't know why it took me so long to process what you had just said. There.
But yeah, and our spines are fucked up too. And
We're a
then
wild ass species.
Some of us have like flat feet. We really weren't meant to be walking, but here we are.
Well, it's because we walk with shoes on too. That's not
Why
good
weren't
for
we
us.
meant to be walking though?
We
Well,
were meant to
we
be
used
walking.
to knuckle walk, but now we adapted to like hold things.
Yes, we are now
Carry.
light people.
That's
just
why
what-
we're the fucking goat.
That's our,
The goat.
That's where we're the best. That's why we're the apex predator. Fuck sharks. All those people who are like, I love sharks. I would let a shark eat me because the ocean is a shark's house. Fuck sharks.
Oh, a shark didn't take down the Titanic.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, all I gotta say is, what about the Super Bowl? We didn't say shit about the
Oh
Super
my!
Bowl yet.
All right,
Yeah.
I just want to say though, shout out to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks for beating the Chiefs that one year, and I'd be remiss for not mentioning the Chiefs though, because that's a good organization. Shout out to the Hey Babe podcast.
I didn't love that game.
That was so long ago.
I really
That's
wasn't feeling it. I checked out like halfway through.
as soon as all right, that game to me was
Yeah.
it was literally almost like identical to Patriots Seahawks.
Hmm.
Like, why would you ever just actively go out of your way to throw a game away?
Stupid.
they didn't understand apparently the overtime rules. Like they I don't know why. Are you talking about why they got the ball first?
All right, no, not getting the ball first. I guess it's not really smart to get the ball second. because if they don't score, their defense was playing pretty well during the game, so it makes sense for them to get the ball first, score, and then assume their defense could get a stop. But they left them with the majority of time. First of all, why aren't you running more?
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
It would go into a second overtime. They get their full drive.
They
apparently I saw.
Really?
Yeah, the Chiefs get their drive.
So they would have gotten even more time if they had waited out the clock.
I don't. For me,
broken leg. That's such bullshit.
He had a broken leg.
That was not this year.
No, I'm just thinking of last year. He beat Philly, and I like Philly, and I'm still bitter about it.
He did not have a broken leg.
He had a fucked up leg with stuff on it. They were like, we're gonna put the juice in him. We're gonna get him to vent, and he's gonna play, and he's gonna win, and he won. Good job, Mahomes. You earned it. Whatever.
I know. It's just. After seeing Brady do it and seeing how incredible he was, I just see Mahomes and I'm just okay.
Yeah.
You don't want that for anyone else but Brady.
No, not even that. It's just if you watch highlights of both of them, it's Tom Brady. He looks like a god. He looks like a god. He just fucking dots the ball.
He really
it's perfect.
Is the man.
Yeah, Tom Brady is the best of all time.
Mahomes isn't doing that.
And I hate
He's
him
doing something else. He's like a combination of Mike Vick and I don't even want to say Brady. It's more like Aaron Rodgers.
Nah, Mahomes is very good.
He's very good.
Tom Brady
he will be the closest in the current NFL right now. He is the only thing comparable to Tom Brady.
Yeah, but
it's not because of his skills, how they play quarterback. Sorry, it's not because of how they play quarterback. It's just because of how they play it differently. But how he's playing it is better than how Tom Brady is playing it, in my opinion, in today's NFL. And that's why Patrick Mahomes is currently the best in the NFL right now, as quarterback would be. I don't fucking like the Chiefs, but it's pretty fucking obvious that Tom Brady that he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
It's a quarterback intensive league nowadays, definitely. Even the Ravens too. As they're supposed to be a great defense. If that's not Ray Lewis's Ravens, they are far from it.
Yeah,
that was sad.
Now they're fucking run. Now they're offensive run, fucking rush team, rush up your ass team. That's their team now.
I just like bird teams. I think I like the Ravens. I like Philly. I like the
I
Orioles.
hate the Ravens. Fuck the Ravens.
I just like bird teams.
Is it the Falcons? Speaking of Falcons, Julio Jones.
Speaking of Falcons, they had the worst fucking Super Bowl in the history of mankind.
I put a bet on that. Kind of. It was really okay. I was in middle school when that happened, but I remember being like, "Hey, Ma, if the Patriots." When it was 3-28, I was like, "Ma, if the Patriots win this, can I stay home from school tomorrow?" And obviously, she said yes because that was never gonna happen.
What a great bet!
And you had Tom Brady. Never bet against Tom Brady.
I never bet against him.
Oh my god, I never watched a game so intensely.
Let's go, Tom!
Everybody was like, "Holy shit, he's fortune."
Yeah,
Freddie, you said though that Tom Brady did in fact beat Mr. Mahomes.
I saw it. Yeah, but I saw a thing. Tom Brady will forever own Patrick Mahomes. Apparently, I saw a statistic. Tom Brady gave Patrick Mahomes his first regular season loss, his first playoff loss, and his first Super Bowl loss.
Damn!
That is just, you will never recover from that shit.
Also, Pat Mahomes, does he still have no interceptions? Or did he get one in the Super Bowl?
Bullshit.
No, that was an actual stat. He had, or at least for the season. For the season, he had
this season?
0 turnovers.
Because I saw a stat that couldn't have been true on TikTok.
What was it?
It was Patrick Mahomes has 58 interceptions that are called back by penalties.
Why are you saying that's bullshit?
You think that's real? That's so many.
Well,
but the thing I have to say about that is
he throws the ball a lot.
No, but also the thing that when a quarterback sees a flag on the field, they're gonna just take a fucking shot. So that does happen.
Oh, wait, so okay.
But almost 60 times is insane. But apparently the thing that made me think it's crazy is apparently the second closest is fucking what's his face, the Bills. What's his name? I forgot his name. I actually like him. Josh Allen.
I was gonna say Josh Norman.
Josh Allen. Apparently, he's the second closest to him. He's the closest, and he only had 7.
He only had 7?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know the time frame of it though.
Josh Allen is much newer than Mahomes, isn't he?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
I have not been watching the league for quite some time.
Not much.
So the goal is to injure Mahomes.
Yeah.
If you're playing against the Chiefs, you can have that one for free, NFL. If you're just take the penalty. Just put Mahomes out of the game.
Nah, Mahomes is what's it called?
The quarterback.
Nah, he's like the poster child, or whatever you want to call it for the NFL.
Yeah.
It is really tough.
Tom Brady was.
Yeah.
It is really tough. I just don't like him.
I don't see him in the same way.
I'm fucking Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, I have this one friend who's just the biggest fan of him. Like he says that this is his time to shine, it's his time of greatness, you know, and like no one should hate him. Everyone should support him and appreciate this.
Like, I understand that he is so good, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking be like, oh my god. Like, someone that my brother's friends with, he said, and I quote, I could watch him throw balls all day long. Like, it was along those lines. I'm not gonna end quote it. Don't quote that, but it was something along those lines.
I could watch Tom Brady throw.
It might have been about Tom Brady.
It might just.
But either way, to say that is fucking insane. I could watch that man throw a ball all day long.
If I was from Kansas, I'd be like, "Fuck Brady, Mahomes, yeah. Let's go Kansas." I don't know. I think I'm biased.
Nah, I mean,
maybe
Tom
I
Brady,
would.
No,
but only because I would have experienced the New England sort of thing, and then now for me it would be like this is catharsis now.
Yeah, true. Especially true. They want to get. Man, everybody just was hating us. So mad when the Pats were killing it.
And hey, now think about it. Everyone is hating.
I wasn't a fan of the Pats when they were at their prime.
I wasn't either.
I never was. I just like Philly.
I hate the
Pats. They kind of suck.
I used to like the Seahawks because of the Legion of Boom. And then the Super Bowl happened. And I never watched football again.
I always get to check out early.
Until the Super Bowl.
Philly always just gets eliminated. And it's like, well, that was fun. You know, I guess I'm going to go read a book or something.
Did you like, who was the quarterback that they had brought in?
Jalen Hurts.
Did you like his performance in that Super Bowl? And like even his performances after the injury? Really?
I don't know. Like when Philly won the Super Bowl, that was amazing, man.
Yeah,
I was rooting for him right with you. I fucking hate the Patriots.
I was
happy,
bound for
and like it's just like I'm still chasing that high, I guess.
I see. And you're still a fan of the Eagles. You're loyal to them, eh?
Yeah, I like the birds. Fly, Eagles, fly.
If we're talking about that debate of people talking about Mahomes or Brady, I saw a thing of
it's way
Shannon
too early
Sharp.
to say that he's better than Brady.
You know who has the best colors though? It's Florida. Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
I do like their jerseys.
But
I watch Dolphins games just because I like the teal.
just to see
I like
the colors.
watching the teal.
It's like Barbie.
All the other ants, yeah.
Well, with Taylor Swift in the NFL, it basically is like Barbie now.
Yeah, I just pick my team.
That's why the Chiefs won, because of Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
I pick my team based on how like blue-greenish they are.
Nah, but oh yeah, so I saw a thing of Shannon Sharp and fucking, you know who that is?
Yeah.
And Stephen A. Smith. You know Stephen A. Smith?
Did you see his interview with Cat Williams?
I think I might have.
That is.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That is a crazy interview.
Shit. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen clips of it at least.
I've seen the video of him going, "I like Charizard the best."
But they were talking about if Mahomes and Brady were fucking like who was like closer, Mahomes and Brady or LeBron and Jordan. And Stephen A. Smith said Mahomes was closer to Brady. And I want to say, like, I am a Jordan guy, but LeBron is, like, he is just as good as, like, are we going to say he's not just as good as Jordan? Like, I'm a Jordan guy, but.
I could have sworn after he had broken the all-time scoring record, I thought people thought it was incontrovertible he was number one now.
I don't
a lot of people have said
Jordan,
that. But I think now it's shifted. A majority of people, anyway, would say LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon Sharp was like, yeah, I mean, he is already the fucking GOAT. Like, LeBron is the fucking GOAT. And
he's still playing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is insane. He's been there my whole life, and it's like they'll never leave.
It's crazy. We, like...
The king.
Like, realistically, if that's true, and if everyone's saying that LeBron's the GOAT now, we got to watch both of the GOAT, like, the GOATs of probably the two biggest sports now, I would say, in America. Who the fuck watches baseball?
I guess we're only going to get better at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because now we got another rising star, fucking... Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know.
I like the basketball stars a lot better. I feel like I can Brady and Mahomes, that's great, but I mean, like, Michael Jordan.
No, there's so many more people.
Like Mike.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's
it's
so many
a global
more people.
thing, you know. It's they literally changed the world.
China loves basketball.
Yeah, they also love baseball. Well, not China,
Japan
but Asia
loves
does.
baseball.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, bro.
They're different.
Right? Yeah, they're very different.
Yeah.
I would be friends with a Japanese man. I don't know about a Chinaman.
Simply because they're bad baseball.
I don't know about a Chinaman. Well, I'm talking about like if they're like from the country.
Right.
And like my assumption is that these individuals are still keeping the culture of their country. In which case, I would not like someone who is both communist and believes a dictatorship is acceptable. Japanese man though likes technology and likes what else, like sushi. You know, I'm not opposed. They don't have any shoes on when they go into their houses, you know.
The sushi bar guy recognizes me and says,
Yes.
"Sup, man," every time I see him, because that's what
Sup,
I
man?
say
He
to
says
him.
sup, man.
Yeah, because I'm like, "Sup, man," every time I see him, and now he says it to me. And then I got this Chinese coworker, Min, and he's a great dude. He makes me lo mein. So I think people are just beautiful.
Right, man.
Nah, yeah, this guy knows Jeff at the what's it called though.
Yeah, I go there all the time.
At the sushi place at Bear's Den. Like one time I was with Jeff and there was like none of the sushi he gets left, and that guy started whipping him up a fucking thing.
Wow.
I didn't even ask.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this like over in the corner?
him. At Bears?
Is that like over right where is it like for reals or something? Like the ice cream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That
You
guy-
can also get like a poke bowl, whatever they call it.
that guy's
It's like a
What's
rice
that?
bowl with like salmon or tuna or something.
And when he gave me extra, he's just a good
What a
dude.
guy.
He did,
He's
bro.
just a good dude. And
I
I'll only do it because the only thing I ever say to him is, "What's up, man? Thank you, man."
you'd be like I'm just walking here actually. There was an Asian man who it was like staring at me as I was walking,
Mm.
and then as I got like right by him, he nodded at me and smiled, and I couldn't help but just giggle afterwards because like that whole situation was just so surreal to me. So like a smile and a nod or just saying hello, that goes a long way oftentimes.
Yeah, dude. Most communication isn't even what you're saying; it's how you're presenting yourself to people.
Right.
So,
Which comes back to how we should have a video going so people can see how we're
We
Or
will.
both.
But I think it's more important that we have the audio.
yeah,
Because-
obviously. Oh really? You think it's more important that we have the audio on the
It'd
podcast?
be funny to watch us
Yeah.
gesture at each
Yeah.
other for an hour, though.
I think that I know what you mean. Like that's not that's blatantly obvious. But
Lower priority. It's a lower priority because then I'd have to put on a better show
But-
than this.
what I mean by that is if we fix the audio, we can have bad visuals and it's acceptable.
Yeah, true.
If we have bad audio and visuals,
Yeah.
come on, that's just shit. That's just a shitty product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
At,
should
least, at
have-
least here, like we have a logo and it's like it's actually digitally accepted.
Yeah. We should shoot for like perfect audio and just the crustiest visuals we can
And
get.
at least they can see us. That's what our fucking visual
Crusty
is.
visuals.
At least they can see you fucking something.
Yeah,
that looks
I have
like
I have no idea where we're gonna point it. I'm glad that the walls were white because like
True.
that makes it a little bit easier. But the
Imagine we had a what's it called though?
what
Like
green
a-
screen?
No, but like each individual cameras, because like it's gonna be hard. Like we're all, like Jeff's gonna be over there. I'm gonna be here. You're gonna be there.
You-
Where's the camera gonna be
So
set
so
up?
because we have the mic, I think we're gonna put it so it's gonna be like this is gonna be the laptop. We'll have the mic here. We'll have person there, and someone right there. And then
Something
everyone's
kind of
going.
wheeling.
Well, so the mic is gonna be able to pick up better on audio, anyways. It could be me if that would make it easier because apparently my voice catches a lot. But yours is also pretty loud
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah. That's just because I sometimes go wee, and sometimes I just don't though. Yippee!
Jeff, you definitely cannot be back there because
Yeah, you can't be back there.
sometimes you're almost a damn near a whisper.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I'm soft spoken.
You listen
Yeah,
to the
a gentle
podcast. I don't
giant.
even listen.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Let me know. I haven't listened to one of the episodes in a while. I should probably start getting the views up.
Yeah, that would help. I mean, even if you don't watch it, just leave a like. You know,
True. I should start
Mhm.
fucking liking all the videos.
Comment.
What am I doing?
if you interact with the video, it makes it more likely to get sent out to other people.
I always be wanting to comment when you post on the BSU. That made me think about what I wanted to say about the BSU story. But that made me. I always want to comment like, "Yo, this shit was sick," just so if people see it, they're like, "Yeah, I want to check that out."
That's what I try to do. I always try to hype it up, but
Yeah. But nah, speaking of the
I
BSU
get no
story
love.
now.
I get no love out there.
Yeah,
There was
no.
one guy who tried to get me to download like this app that like gets you followers if you pay money. And, like,
No.
That was the Promosum. That's what that was.
We
You
don't
know
need
what I'm talking
that,
about?
dude.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
don't
do
want
this
that.
the real way
Nah, but
That's actually how we
speaking
get
of
all
the
of our
BSU
views.
story,
Yeah.
I'm shelling out hundreds of dollars.
for 15.
12 views.
Maybe we'll come back and it'll have like 100.
No, I don't want to go the sleazy way. You know, I don't want to get far. I want to win.
Yeah, let's do it. It's fun though. I mean, I just do it because I like it.
Facts.
I like to yap.
Yeah, but
Yep.
just as well though, it's great to yap and concentrate your yappage. You know,
Yeah.
Having like a
Like-
topic.
this is almost like this is a form of expression, but it's very authentic. You know, it's not like we're out and about, you know, in class and you have to, you know, raise your hand and speak all cordially and all this
Yeah.
gobbledygook.
We just have a good like chemistry betwixt of us.
It's like
Dan,
you're
Dan-
comfortable.
If I had to
Yeah.
say, Darian definitely has a 20 with fucking charisma or whatever the fuck.
What for like speaking?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you're a good host.
Yeah, you
You
are.
make a good host.
You'd be very surprised. I met my friend's grandmother, and she said to me that I don't talk much. And
Maybe it's just because you're on a little bit of a new setting.
Yeah, maybe
I don't
not.
know. Maybe she should
yeah.
give you a little time to
yeah,
adjust.
that's what I tried telling her that. Like, I flow between talking and not talking. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to process. Sometimes you got shit to say.
Yeah.
This is just a temple of yap.
Yeah, but it's also it's like a brainstorm session though. I feel like oftentimes you say things that in some way, shape, or form alters my perspective on a thing.
Mm-hmm. And you too. I mean, I wasn't thinking about that. The George Floyd thing.
Yeah, bro, you switched his whole
No,
mind.
but
Up.
that's not even your fault.
I'm not even saying he's like a hero. I'm just saying that.
That's exactly what the media.
Realistically,
I'm not going to be so judgmental. I realize that.
Realistically, though,
it's not up to me who should die.
Right.
Just because you have that information.
I mean, it kind of is though. Like for instance, all right. What are you going to say?
I was going to say just because you have that information, that side that Darian taking, it doesn't mean that you have to take
I'm not switching sides. I'm not on the he's totally innocent. Yeah. I'm on the perhaps skepticism is just the way here.
I always try to take things right in the middle. Because the idea that people could just radically say, "Oh, this was horrible. This was the worst thing that any human being could have ever done." I was like, "Wait a second. What did he really do?"
That's why I was.
And then I saw all this stuff that when it's like he didn't get a life sentence. So obviously something's a little fishy.
Yeah, well, hey, in today's
that
age,
middle ground,
the public,
Democrats.
Well, what's it called? What is that saying? In today's thing,
that.
though, the public, they're quick to, what's it called? You'll be actually a public. Well, fuck, dude. What is it? A public when you're just
cancellation.
Kinda. It's kind of through legal action. You're deemed guilty before it doesn't because of all the
how you're presented online.
Yeah.
In the public. Yeah, because
I forget what the word is. It might not even be anything.
The general yeah, I guess we'll say prerogative because I don't know what that means. The general prerogative is that he was the bad guy.
Do you know what gumption means?
Gumption? That's when you got swag.
No.
Okay.
Well, it means the same thing as prerogative, pretty much. It's you're just you can make whatever assumption about something you want, or you can have your own. You can have your own IMHO.
In my opinion, I'm willing to be honest to the point of being contradictory on this podcast.
You don't know where the line is until you've crossed it, and sometimes that means going in circles until you can't go no more.
I realize I can end up on either side of something. I mean, it's just yap. We're just yapping.
Speaking of yapping, I do want to yap with the BSU stories, though.
Right. So, please.
This is kind of like a BSU immersion of not even just a public, a PSA, I guess. Apparently, there's a fucking someone's breaking into motherfuckers' cars around campus.
Really? Oh,
so
our special guest from yesterday, Bryce Williams, he mentioned not locking his vehicle. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, be on the lookout, bro.
Lock your shit. Lock it. But a lock is only as good as who you're trying to keep out. Yeah. Hopefully this guy doesn't know how to get the lock.
Not only was cars getting robbed
that would
and shit,
be tough.
A car literally got GTA, Grand Theft Auto. Some motherfucker lost their...
The car is no longer here?
Yeah, she still does not know her car is. I don't know when the story was.
Maybe I should keep an air tag in my car.
What was the car?
Facts. I don't know. They didn't say.
Oh my goodness. She probably should if she wants to find it again.
I mean, they probably have communicated with authorities and told them.
But even still, I mean, a BOLO can only get you so far. What if someone could call it in?
BOLO.
That's what the police... That's
BOLO!
BOLO!
Be on the lookout? Is that what BOLO means?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Be on lookout. Be on lookout.
Well, when you have the, you usually exclude it. Kind of like of. It's like of.
Yeah.
Exclude it. BOLO.
Damn, bro. We got a BOLO on a motherfucking vehicle. Everyone look for that shit. Is that what it said? BOLO on a fucking Amber Alert vehicle. Is that what... Damn, bro, BOLO, bro.
BOLO.
That should be the name of the fucking episode, BOLO.
Yeah, we'll call it from BOLO.
Yeah, we'll call it BOLO.
That's a crazy word. BOLO? You know when you say a word so much it don't sound real?
Yeah.
That's BOLO, bro.
I'm not convinced BOLO is a word.
Yeah, I know.
At all.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I guess it's not. Well, I don't know. It could be because the police have used it, they've adopted it into dictionaries. But it would be
it's not. It isn't a word.
Does it actually stand for be on lookout?
Yeah.
I mean, in a police term.
All right.
What else would it stand for? They'd literally be saying, BOLO, we got a BOLO on a fucking SUV.
No, yeah, but you see how they use it as a noun, though. We have a BOLO. So I think that's what I mean.
We have a BOLO.
They added it to the dictionary.
This reminds me of
That's the word for a BOLO situation. Is it as a noun? If it's just BOLO, this is a BOLO situation. We got a BOLO, boys.
This reminds me.
Oh,
Of,
okay.
this reminds me of Patrick when he said.
We have a Be on the Lookout out on a Ford Camry. Okay, yeah.
It's been
Got a
adopted
BOLO
though
on the
because
Camry.
you know when Patrick said "We Wumbo, we Wumbo," we
Right.
Wumbo.
See me,
That's Wumbo. This is Wumboing.
Wombology, the study of Wombo.
This is what BOLO makes me think of, bro. You just create a
So
word.
this is your wallet.
I mean, Oxford.
It's not my wallet.
No, never seen it before. But it has your ID. Is this not you?
Yes,
Yo, what about Patrick's to-do
So
list?
this is your wallet.
Does Patrick's to-do
it's not
list?
my wallet.
What a clever idea.
Oh shit, no, I'm an idiot.
Funny shit.
What?
I thought that for a second I thought that Patrick's to-do list said Bool on it.
No, that said nothing.
Yeah, it said nothing now. I
Yeah.
thought that Bool was just like
Bolo.
no, it was just like him
What
like
is
not
that
spelling
guy's
a word
name?
right.
What is that guy's name?
Man Ray?
Okay, he's just a funny looking
Who's your
fella.
favorite? What's
Yeah.
it called?
A manta ray
Speaking
super
of, who's your
villain is
favorite-
ridiculous.
Who do you like more? I guess because these are two big ones. The Dirty Bubble and Man Ray.
I'm a Dirty Bubble fan.
I have to go Man Ray. He's iconic, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
took
true.
the
Dirty
Dirty
Bubble's
Bubble
funny as fuck,
challenge.
What does that mean?
There was an episode where
Oh, shit, I
SpongeBob got a
remember.
letter that said, "Take the Dirty Bubble challenge, bounce the paddle like 739,453,689,473,809 times," and he just
That was
like
the real number. by
he
the way.
spends like that was exactly the number, and he just goes and like hits the paddle over and over again trying to get it.
Did you try to perform this?
No, I would never do that. But
They got a bolo out on fucking Dirty Bubble, bro.
I don't know, that's why I like the Dirty
Blow out
Bubble.
on Dirty Bubble.
I just think that's
Wow.
hilarious to have a number like that.
That's
a-
great. How do you arrest the bubble? They did it in the show, I thought.
Nah,
They
yeah.
that wasn't him popping him.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
do.
He's like the easiest guy to beat. It's popping.
Still-
Yeah.
Well, if this brings up the question, who do you like more, Mermaid Man or Barnacle Boy?
Oh, definitely Mermaid Man.
Yeah.
Barnacle Boy's kind of, he's like the
Bitch.
Squidward
He's
of
the Squidward,
superheroes.
yeah.
Nah, he's like the Robin.
The Dirty
Robin.
Bubble, no matter how
Even
many
Robin
times
would
he
be cool.
pops, he always comes back.
Like
I want to see
Nightwing.
who are the fucking
Dirty Bubble always comes back.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy
He's a
villains.
tenacious foe, and I like
He is
that.
tenacious. There's no
always-
stopping him.
You always like Man Ray's always like doing laundry and shit, and like after SpongeBob sent him the right way. But the Dirty Bubble, he's evil to the core. He's
Right.
born from evil mud,
It's just something,
Yo.
something about being dirty.
a force of chaos.
Right.
I like that.
Dude, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy villains. They got Man Ray, Sinister Slug, Atomic Flounder. But look at the picture they got for their Dirty Bubble. It's fucking
That's
Flash
Bubble
the
Bass.
Flounder.
That's
Oh, it
Bubble Bass,
is!
you fool.
It is dirty. It is Bubble Bass,
You
bro.
thought it was
Flash-
Flash the Flounder?
Flats is the
He was the
flounder.
guy that like bullied
Oh.
SpongeBob.
He's the rhombus.
No, that's the pickle guy.
Yeah, that's Bubble Bass. I'm
Yeah.
a SpongeBobologist.
Yeah, it is
SpongeBobologist.
Bubble Bass. He hit that shit on there.
SpongeBob.
One, a two,
Sponge
wait, no.
Bob
Yo, what?
SpongeBobologist.
Wait,
That's fun to
I
say.
just said the what's it called? The owl.
Sponge biology.
SpongeBology.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBobbly. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
What's his face say?
Who?
Who's the guy we were just talking about? I don't even remember. I fucking forgot. But I just started saying, what's it called? 1, 2, 3, and I was thinking about. You know who says that?
Yeah, it's from the
Insane.
commercials for the Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, it is. But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I started saying that, but I thought it was whoever the character I was just talking about. I thought he said it, and then I realized that he don't say that.
Are you still on Bolo?
No,
Are
I
you,
forgot.
you're like you're Mandela affecting Bolo
Yeah.
into your
Fuck,
past.
bro. 1,
The Bolo
2,
Steam Bears.
3, fuck. Who was I thinking about before?
What are you talking about?
About
You were talking about the flat guy who bullied SpongeBob.
Oh yeah. No. I was talking about that Bubble Bass when he fucking puts things under his. What does he like say about the thing? No.
You forgot the
Yeah.
pickle.
But what did he say? Something like, does it count or something?
Yeah, because so he lists out everything he wants in a hamburger. There's like 1,000 things damn near, and
And
he
SpongeBob
lists out
has
everything.
them
He checks it.
memorized.
He's like, oh, you have this. Blah, 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 blah," and
It's like
he's
bun,
he's like,
lettuce,
you
onion,
forgot
cheese,
this
burger, lettuce, tomato, pickles.
Hmm.
Top it all up with this. Isn't he bun?
No pickles. Huh?
no fucking pickles.
Yeah,
And
what's
then- oh,
the
yeah, and then
problem?
But actually, he did put the pickles on. He
Yeah,
just
he had
hid them
it
under his
Under
tongue.
Bubble Bass? Fuck Bubble Bass.
Yeah, you're a scoundrel.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yep. The Joker would have a word or two for you because we live in a society, buddy.
Mm-hmm. With Dirty Bubbles and Man Ray, which is the plural of Man Ray.
I don't know why, but my brain is all
But there's
over the
but
place.
one man, right?
My brain is all over the place. Because I started
Yeah.
thinking about, ever since I said Robin, I started thinking about Batman. I started thinking about the Batman.
The most recent movie with
Yeah.
What's his name?
How do you guys feel about that when you guys fuck with it?
Paddington?
Yeah,
Paddington?
Pattinson.
Yeah.
You guys fuck with that?
Paddington's the bear.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I did like the movie.
I
My
liked
parents
it.
hated it. Just like
A little too long.
I don't.
Yeah, it was long.
He's because he's a big fan of like he just wants action, and to him like Robert was too emo. You know, it was like he was watching a goth teen, like you know, being cringy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he saw it that way, but you know.
I didn't like that song they used, the Nirvana one.
I love that song. I think it's a great song.
I don't know. Something in the way.
You don't like that? That was so popular.
I hate how overplayed it was. But
That might be why.
by itself, it's a good song.
That's probably
And like the whole album is a great. You know, Nirvana is great.
I love Nirvana. It sounds better when he does it.
It's okay to eat fish.
Something.
Because they don't have anything.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was pretty funny when I'd seen that.
I like it.
Something in my ass. That's Cave Convos for you.
That is Cave Convos.
Something is in my ass.
We were talking about too. I hope after last episode, you actually did leave the video not being contorted and twisted like that man who entered his hole. Because I said you would
I
not.
think that was a
But
couple episodes ago.
I could not make it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, it might have been a couple.
That was when we were in the stone room of death.
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, so that was a couple episodes ago. There's
We
probably
that
fine.
actually-
talked
like-
about the enigma of the Amigara fault. And,
Have you read that? What he sent?
I did. I
You
didn't read all of
actually-
it because there's a lot of it, obviously, but
yeah.
I think I got through like 5 or so chapters.
Yeah, interesting, right?
It is.
I love
And
the art.
I was surprised too because he pulls out like a Christopher Nolan. You know, he starts talking like chronologically, and then he just starts talking about random characters, and then goes back to the original story.
Yeah,
And I was like, where did this come from?
I know. He is. I don't know. I like the way he conveys it. You know, there's a great mystery to it all, and it kind of culminates in some really weird nonsense.
I didn't make it to the end, but I enjoyed what I had received. That's thank you very much for sharing, Mr. Grizzly.
You can have that one for free.
Was it free?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
just the website.
This guy, does he make any money off this stuff?
Yeah, he sells physical like books. I bought one.
Okay.
I bought a physical copy of Uzumaki.
I didn't, but maybe I ought to.
Pirated that shit.
I
Dude,
did.
I got like 3 books for, I don't know, $15. It was like a sale.
I got a book.
On what,
I need to
Amazon?
read
Yeah.
that. I got a book. I got a Spider-Man fucking book.
Do you know what book I bought?
What?
Arsène Lupin.
What is that?
There's a show called Lupin on Netflix, and it is about. So Arsène Lupin is a. I did the thing that I said was pretentious,
Pronounced
did it,
different.
but-
but you
It's fun.
have to do it with names though.
It's fun to do.
Otherwise, it's just rude.
Oh,
Like if someone called me Dedren, then I would be like, try again. You know, I wouldn't say, oh, nice accent, buddy.
Try again.
So Arsène Lupin. Arsène Lupin. So it's about a gentleman burglar. All right. So this guy is he steals things, but he goes about it in such a majestic way, right? He plans things and he makes it so that no one ever realizes he's even there. He just walks away unscathed. Additionally, he actually is in beef with Sherlock Holmes. That's how good he is.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's his antagonist.
Oh, so they show about his enemy? Or, yeah, about Sherlock's enemy?
So in Sherlock, Arsène Lupin doesn't show up at all. They have Moriarty. That's Sherlock's nemesis.
I see.
But that's just Lupin is such a cool character. So why not bring him in? You know, they made a lot of money. That's actually so much money that became one of the canonical books of the franchise.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, and they made a show about it.
Well, there's no Sherlock in that show, unfortunately.
Sherlock Holmes is a good fucking story.
Yeah, someone talks about
The
it.
TV show with Benedict Cumberbatch, I thought it was actually really good, but it got so much hate.
I like a good mystery.
Have you ever seen it?
The guy that, the BBC Sherlock, it was very annoying. It was written by, like,
What was the BBC one? Is that the one I'm talking about?
or maybe? The
With
one where he's,
Benedict
like,
Cumberbatch?
really pretentious?
Well, he's pretentious, yeah, but he's also addicted to drugs.
I think that might be the one.
With a Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange Benedict Cumberbatch. Is he Sherlock Holmes?
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what he's talking
I think the BBC is older than what I'm talking about.
I believe.
This one I watch on like Netflix.
Okay, never mind. I just remember
Yeah.
there was like a show a while ago, and he was like written to be like young Sheldon, and like
There it
it
is.
just came under. But there was like You know how people watched Rick and Morty and thought they were smart?
Hmm.
So there was like people who went in that category too.
Well,
It was like Rick and Morty for girls.
really
Yeah.
interesting. Have you ever seen Pride and Prejudice?
No. I
That
never
is
read
a-
it either.
That is probably the only romance film that I will watch and like actually accept that it's good. You know, like I haven't watched The Notebook, but like I have to because I'm a cinephile.
Cool.
What else is there?
Well, for me, romance has to be like horror. It's got to be like a secondary genre.
I see.
There can be like subtext of romance and like a plot line, and there can be like scary themes and something. But to focus something on either of those two things, I just kind of like.
I understand what you mean, but at the same time, love is a very extensive emotion, and so there are many ways to apply it. And oftentimes, like you see, like 50 Shades of Grey, for instance, that's a horrible application.
Yeah, that was weird.
But
It was smart.
Pride and Prejudice is I think it's love done right. You know,
It's a real story. Or like,
it's not a real story, but
or like it. I mean, it has like.
I felt something. You know, I was watching it, and I have to be honest, like I really could appreciate what all these females were talking about. I didn't even like really cry during the Titanic though, but I thought Pride and Prejudice was damn good.
I'll have to check it out. That's a high review. High praise.
That's. I mean, I'm
not really a crier. I'm kind of stoic. That's it. I don't know if I like sad movies like that, but I'll check it out.
I want to watch a fucking sad movie.
It's not sad. I mean, at the end, it's quite happy actually.
Well, if it is, I don't like sad movies.
Interesting.
I'm not saying that's one. Sad movies be asshole. Who wants to watch a sad? Who wants to be sad on purpose?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
there's something cathartic about it.
Sometimes. Yeah, you can sort of sometimes it can make you feel better about sort of whatever situation you're going through.
Yeah, I watched a movie. I watched that new Ghibli movie where the kid's mom burns up in a hilarious inferno, and I was like, damn, I gotta call my mom. I gotta talk to my mom. It leaves you with something.
Just, I mean, there's so many different things you could take away too. Like oftentimes I'll quote movies just because they have said something in what I interpret to be an ideal way, you know?
And that ties back to remembering movies.
It does tie back to when you were saying Pineapple Express.
Yeah, movies that are written like
that reminds me of.
I remember.
And that just brought me to what I was thinking about Superbad again when that guy said, I'm graduating next week. They should be sucking on my ball sack.
Yeah, being hilarious is another way to be memorable.
Right.
That's such a good movie.
That's what makes a comedy. I mean, if a comedy movie is like the lines are memorable and quotable, that is a good comedy.
I don't see comedy as like a lesser art form. I really think it is hard to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people, myself included, are not funny. Sad to see.
That's the thing though. Like
you don't think you're funny at all. I mean, everyone's funny, but like, there's some people that are just. Everyone's funny, and they're like, to some. But everyone can be funny, but like, there's people that are what's it called? Like professionally fucking funny.
I know people that like try to be funny, and they just don't have it. Like,
yeah.
And I like these people. Like, I don't think there's like a weird obsession amongst like, especially at my circle for some reason about being funny. But there's one I have one friend
obsession about it? Like they talk about it.
They like judge. They used to judge each other based on how like funny they were. It's weird.
Like based off of conversations they were having internally, or like with other people.
With each other, like in the group in our circle.
That's so toxic.
Yeah, it really was.
That is weird.
I was like, guys, this is retarded. Like, let's not do this.
Let's not rate each other based on funniness, guys.
Comparing people is inhumane, dude. Don't do that. As I say, comparing Anthony Fantano's dick with Drake's.
Well, I mean, I was calling him Antonio, but I mean Antonio is Anthony in Italian, so whatever.
You got to say it in your own accent.
There you go. Yeah. So you know what? I'm just presumptuous. I'll always say things in their language.
But I know people who will like tell a joke and you'll feel like the staleness of the air. You know, like a haze.
Yeah, but because to tell a joke and for it to be funny, you have to what's it called? And you have to be funny. But like anyone can just like in a conversation
be funny.
Yeah, like if it's just natural, like unless you're like socially awkward. Every single person I've talked to, I recognize, like, you could, like, and it probably has happened, like, you could make, like, a fun, like, something out of, like, a
You see the beauty in people that others may not.
I guess, yeah. Like, it's just, like, every single person in a conversation you're having with them can probably say something that'll, like, be a little bit funny. But if it comes to them trying to, like, fucking tell a joke to a crowd, like that's a whole different story.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you got to make as multiple people laugh.
Yeah.
That's why you like find your own audience or whatever. But
Well, the biggest thing with that, oh man, there's a lot.
That's why I say everyone can be like funny,
so-
but no one's hilarious like a fucking.
you gotta like it's like you gotta practice to be hilarious.
So going back to what you said about some people just can't be funny. Oftentimes, like for us, it's more so because we're not professional. It's more so an emotional state where you have to be feeling playful, and then you'll be able to be thinking in a manner that is actually sort of humorous. You know, you're thinking sillily.
It's like any other conversation. You gotta know like when is it too much, when is it the right time.
Yeah. And another point too is with the comedians is usually what they'll do is they'll do what anyone does when they're trying to be funny. So they'll try to subvert expectations. But there's a level. There's a sort of like a portion of the IQ tests is you can answer questions, but you have to answer the question the best way possible. You know, so like they'll give answers that are technically like plausible, but they're not ideal. And so if you select one that isn't the ideal one, then you would be penalized.
Interesting.
The comedians are very good at picking out the best subversions, right? Like the things that we would least expect, but also are most fitting.
Right.
The average person, though, they don't quite have that experience. They don't. I mean, it's like a skill, you know.
Yeah, they practice it. They like they write their jokes down. They rehearse.
Or do your Dave Chappelle, and you're sitting there just pondering, you know.
Yeah.
You can still he writes, but it's just most of it's internal, I guess.
He has a joke book. He did a joke about it, but I'm not going to tell it because it's kind of long. But he's basically joking that what he's leaving behind to his family will be his book of jokes. That's his most prized possession.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's his life's work right there.
Yeah, and according to him, they're really good jokes.
I would hope so. Dave Chappelle, he is, I would say, my favorite comedian. Though I ironically, I do not agree with his politics.
No.
Why?
He's very democratic, and he's not only that, but he's
Democratic.
Democratic. I don't know. He seems...
He's radically supportive of blacks as well, and like to the extent.
Well, doesn't he have like? Isn't he like been under fire many a time for his like trans?
He is.
Jokes?
Yeah, but
he is old.
But what we interpret to be democratic beliefs, like that's contemporary. That's literally like in our lifetimes they've added LGBTQ. Like the homosexuality literally came about, that whole topic, with Obama.
Right.
So like that was never a thing. The democratic perspective is more so about like welfare state. And even beyond that, it's things like policing and what else does he love talking about?
Well, Dave grew up
Just general politics, like policies.
He grew up in a time where people were, at least in person, much more racist. You know, I mean, that's just he grew up in that way back in the dinosaur age, when people would throw spears at you for just being the wrong color. And I feel like he's held on to that bitterness even as he's gotten older. So when he sees a new movement that does consist of the very people that oppressed him, he sees that he has like this bitterness for it.
He did mention that actually, that he saw how much progress that the LGBTQ community had made in such short amount of time, comparatively, especially to blacks.
Yeah, but
And that was like, you know.
Does he not realize that if
he was impressed, but it's like, what the fuck?
Does he not realize that if it wasn't for that, the movement that came first, that it wouldn't have been as quick?
Probably not. You're right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
But I mean, that could be a logical fallacy as well. I'm not. But I mean.
Really? You think that's a lot? You think that?
Could be.
I don't. I would say that if.
Because
it's really just human.
Well, actually,
rights.
no. Actually,
I
that is literally true, because we wouldn't have had a black president without the civil rights movement. Obama was the one that did it. So you are 100% correct in that then, and you didn't even mean to be.
But I still think in my way I am right.
Yeah.
The other way.
And what the other way is like what? How we as a society perceive it to be?
About how, no, just like because of the movement. Like there was a time where black people fucking couldn't vote. Very like fucking recent, pretty much. Like when Martin Luther King was whatever you want to call that movement.
Civil rights movement.
Civil rights movement. If that civil rights movement is realistically the LGBTQ right is a civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for this civil rights movement, it wouldn't have been as easy, like he's saying.
Because they had the blueprint.
Yeah.
Well, and where would the civil rights be without women's suffrage?
Mm.
Which, by the way, I was just thinking of this. Like, this is kind of, whatever, but I cannot believe that women actually fought for the right to be drafted. Like that is something that they went out of their way for the opportunity to have.
Yeah, man, I wish we could fight for the right to not be drafted.
I know. I wish that I could give up my voting rights so that I could not be drafted.
Yeah,
I wish that
I
was
would
an
do that in
option.
a heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't want you drafted.
Especially if they're just gonna, fucking find a bunch of these ballots in these coolers and shit,
Yeah.
Again,
I'm not
whatever.
cut out for war.
I'm not a man of war.
I'm
War
not
never
built
changes.
for war. I'm
but
more
I do.
of a not war guy.
This has been the longest podcast, though, that we've ever done. It is approaching 2 full hours.
We could even make these multiple episodes if we wanted to.
Yeah, we could make this, but I don't think we need to. I think we could actually just start fucking
How long do we have this room to?
7.
All right, should we just go till they kick us out?
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So what are we talking about? We're talking about civil rights. Yeah, it's another thing with the whole fuss about like trans people is like, yeah, they are incredibly vocal on the internet, but they're like less than 1% of the population. I don't know anything.
Boom.
Trans people.
Yeah, very, very
Such
small.
a small percentage.
But
of the
they're also
population.
growing rather rapidly, and there's
Yeah,
like
true.
the psychological effect too with females because they're so high in openness. One of the ocean traits, 5 major personality traits. They are more likely than if they see someone who is say converted to bisexuality to then want to experiment with bisexuality.
Mm.
And so when we see these things being propagated like like convert your children because you could have misgendered them at birth.
Mhm.
Or like
They see the number climbing and they get scared.
right, and there's even things too where it's like, ooh, like if you've ever second guessed your sexuality in the past, you probably are bisexual.
Yeah, they like to
Eh,
phone it in on you.
like stuff like that. Like you might think, well, okay, like whatever. They're just trying to make sure that LGBTQ feels comfortable in society. It's actually detrimental to people who are not LGBTQ though, because you're basically saying, like, oh, this is something you could be doing. Like, why not do this? Why not do that? Why not do that?
Join the club.
We don't do that with nicotine. We don't do that with drugs anymore.
That makes me relate to remember when you brought up the microplastics? Did we talk about that?
We did talk about it. That was like episode
Yeah,
one.
that was like episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
It definitely is more complicated than that, obviously. But I
Yeah,
thought
that just
was
made me
funny.
think of that. A recall to a first episode, a second
Yeah.
episode.
I basically said that eating microplastics makes you like, it increases the level of estrogen you have. And I also feel like, again, I use the
What-
internet.
wait,
so
eating
this
what
is why.
does?
Microplastics.
Okay.
But I also feel like I see more male to female like trans people. So my conspiracy
Facts.
theory, based on no science whatsoever, is that there's a correlation there. But you could also argue that the reason I don't see any,
Return of the Frog's gay.
the reason I don't see any female to male transgenders is because I don't go to hardware stores.
You don't really. Where do you see?
Where do you
that?
go to see the male to female?
The internet.
Oh, yeah.
Male to female. I don't know if I've seen transgenders. I've certainly seen cross dressers though.
Yeah, I remember the first they might have been a transgender, but the first like cross dresser I ever saw, I was so young and I was like scared to like look at them.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've clocked at least 4 trans people on this campus. So maybe
You fucking clocked them.
Yeah, I
Well, if you're
rock this
transgender,
shit.
watch out for Jeff
Watch
Grizzly,
out for Jeff, bro. He is clocking you.
Yeah, so watch out.
Mike Tyson of the LGBT community.
I didn't know that was true.
But,
I actually probably have seen it. I think
That's
I
also a
might have
joke.
seen one.
President Clark, LGBTQ
Like,
is
is it
very
wrong to
sensitive.
acknowledge that?
He's never had an LGBTQ person. We are
I
not
don't know.
violent towards them.
'Cause
I've
don't they,
never
like-
really hit anybody except for like my siblings.
And you play
Jane?
football, so you
Not Jane. Actually, yeah, probably Jane.
football. Nelson as well.
Nelson. Okay, well, he barely counts.
That's a given. Yeah.
What is he, like 10, 15? He can
He's like
handle
3/5 of a
himself.
person.
He's basically a man.
Oh, really? At age 10, 15?
Like 10 or 15.
Either or. You don't. It's 5-year discrepancy there.
I guess that's a big
Where were you those 5 years?
Out
Out and about.
New Orleans.
Yeah. And then Nelson was where?
A week turned into a month, which turned into years.
Centuries.
Things happen. People change. A man grows. And I'm just learning, There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a man who's learning.
Your fates, they were brought together originally, but now they're starting to stray.
Hey, I've never been a father before, and frankly, I don't think I'm ever going to be a father again.
It was a rough experience,
That
you
shit
say?
sucks.
Do you think it was
man,
Nelson's fault? Or do you think it was more
Nelson
so...
sucks. Good
Okay.
luck, Nelson.
Yeah, maybe Nelson should not heed my PSA warning from earlier.
This one.
The one about depression and suicide awareness. Actually, I didn't mention the suicide awareness. If you feel as if you believe it is a good idea to take your life, I truly,
Darren is on that PSA shit.
I
Unless
hope
you're
that you will
Nelson.
reconsider. I hope that you will just give an effort to going out and trying to talk to someone about the way you feel, because there's a good chance that not that you're overreacting, but rather you could find solutions to these problems if you just speak to another ear.
Yeah, Darian's right. Never apply a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Unless you're Nelson.
Unless you're Nelson.
Really?
And that's not anyone named Nelson.
What if
That's
the permanent
Jeff
solution
Child
isn't
Nelson.
killing yourself, and it is a good permanent solution?
What is permanent?
Not.
You don't know this because you weren't here when we first started Cave Convos.
Yeah.
Me and Luke Taylor, Freddie used to treat us like a glorified dispensary. And I this is the first time I've ever asked. And it's finally come full circle, right here and now.
I guess.
But what were we talking about?
Nelson?
You're talking about Nelson, my real son.
His real son that
My very real-
hypothetically is requiring child protective services.
Yeah, he'll be fine. You know,
Maybe.
like, he's basically a man now. When I was his age, I was working.
When you were 10 to 15, you were working?
10 to 15.
Well, it was a different time.
So he's 10
Where were you working? In the coal mines?
Yeah,
Okay.
just like a mining community.
Well, then, I mean, everyone was doing that back in the day.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Not anymore, now we're soft. Because we don't have shame. Shame, and now we're soft. Nelson needs to feel bad for what he's done.
We go to Chuck E. Cheese, and none of the animatronics have breasts anymore. I mean,
That's
what do they
it's
expect
about.
out of us?
Oh, speaking of that again, of Always Sunny in
It's so
Philadelphia.
funny because they talk about the girl with like the animatronic with like the ridiculous fake breasts, and he's like, it's good for boys because they're curious, and it's good for girls so that they know what they should look like.
There it is. There it is. That's a big thing too. People talk about like society nowadays. It's very difficult for women to be seen as attractive.
I disagree.
No one ever wanted for females to be anorexic, but rather, Lizzo is not my forte.
Yeah, no one also ever wanted them to be fucking 3,000 pounds.
Some
You know.
people like that.
Some people, you know what I will say? I'll say this. Black History Month, to all my blacks out there, a couple brothers, a fair few brothers actually, they don't mind them big. This is an actual quote from Big Boy from Outkast. Big girls need love too. No
Exactly.
discrimination here, squirrel.
Yeah,
So keep your
that's,
hands off my cheeks.
Let me show you how about the beat, the big freak.
There we go.
Skinny slim women got the chemical within them.
He loves the skinny girls too. I mean, but the big freaks.
The big freaks.
I'm sorry, but they're just not for me. They're not for me.
I don't know why.
I weigh 150 pounds.
I have no concrete reasoning for this, and it's purely just my soul is telling me this. The world needs overweight women. I don't know why, but it just has to be this way.
Just to show that it's okay.
Why not?
You know, like if every woman was the same exact physique, that would be a kind of sad world.
Yeah, because what about those guys who really do like them big? Are we going to scorn them too? Are we going to have
Everyone
them
should be
convert our
happy.
ways? Everyone should be happy. That's
Everyone
it.
always like.
Do whatever
The
you want.
pursuit of happiness is a God-given right. It's a natural law, some might say.
Everyone tries to always like glorify the like models, glorify the fucking now the fat models. How come they don't just glorify the average?
Yeah.
Because the average is ugly.
No, but honestly, I'm a big fan of, like, I was thinking about this too. Like, I would love one day to just see a movie with just average people. Just average looking, like, not Brad
That was
Pitt.
how it was. Like if you go back and watch movies from like the 80s,
Yeah,
they're just regular fucking guys.
It was like that in Full Metal Jacket. I mean,
Not
Kubrick,
really.
I think Mr. Kubrick knows how to pick some regular-looking dudes.
Even
What is
so,
with Anthony Mackie?
The one with the guy who goes,
No. That's-
Sergeant!
that's the one where he's Full Metal Jacket is the fucking.
Is it based off a
dude-
video game?
No.
Oh, damn.
It's the white dude who's just like he's shouting like this at everyone. That movie.
Show me your war face!
I don't think I've seen that.
That movie. He gets shot by one of the
By the crazy fat one.
what are they? Cadets.
Yeah, poor guy.
He deserved it. He was a dickhead.
He was a
You
drill
know?
sergeant.
He was
That's
like fucking,
His job is to be a dickhead.
He was like the teacher from Whiplash.
Yes, he was.
You don't
He was
fuck with
Terrence
that guy?
Fletcher.
Well, okay, so that movie brings up such a good point too. Like
That's probably like my favorite movie.
Whiplash?
I love Whiplash.
that brings
Fucking with Omni Man.
with Omni Man. He's the voice of Omni Man.
Is he?
He is,
J.K.
yeah,
Simmons?
yeah, he is.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Terrence
I was gonna say, am I wrong? Am I stupid?
Fletcher is a great character. That's all.
Is he the drummer?
Maybe
Neiman.
No, he's the asshole. Neiman's the drummer. We got a speaker. We got a speaker today, folks.
I should watch that movie.
Neiman.
It is a really good movie.
Ain't he cute?
But it brings up a good point at the end, especially. So the idea is, especially if you're starting later in life, the only way for you to be exceptionally talented at whatever you're doing, the best at what you're doing, is if you literally sacrifice everything for it.
Yeah, you gotta. The artist gives everything to the art.
But there's a lot of artists too. Because they had started younger. Like even if they're doing it profusely, they're working at it a lot. Like Kanye West and like Outkast again. I'll bring them up. Like they grew up with music. And they've been doing music their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have to be really that intensive. They still worked really hard though.
All right.
To be in Neiman's situation though, where he's coming in sort of, it's not like he's the greatest drummer in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he has to
Is
put
it
in
based on a
effort.
true story?
It might be.
I don't think
But-
it is.
If it is, it's realistic fiction. You know?
It's worth watching. It's on Netflix.
Try it out. Whiplash! I always see a clip of that guy fucking, or I always see that clip of him like yelling at that guy for like being off tempo or whatever, and then he ends up not even
Are
being
you
on tempo.
rushing or are you dragging?
And he's like, he was fine, I just wanted to see whatever.
Oh yeah,
If
that
you knew.
one was the guy plays it. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That's I got stuck in my head because he kept having to do it.
I love it. Caravan is the best. Bong, 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 bong.
Very complicated, but very good.
Very good. Everybody's got it. Everybody's going through that too. Like each character in that movie is Neiman.
Mm.
Yeah, but I
Remember
mean,
that.
It's just they're not getting the spotlight at the moment.
They're not as committed as Neiman.
Neiman.
Oh yeah, I guess that is a big part of it too. If that's another thing. If Neiman had never shown signs of ambition,
Mm-hmm.
he would have never had to enjoy what he enjoyed.
Terrence says if he was like, Neiman says he's like, what if you go too far and like the guy gets discouraged, and he's like, no, dude, because the next great drummer would not get discouraged.
And he's trying to find that guy, the guy
Like,
that
what
won't
if
quit.
he threw the cymbal at the guy's head? What if it's and then they became Bird or whatever? This doesn't make any sense to anybody who hasn't seen the movie. I guess my point is that he says that you can't push someone too far because if they're really gonna be the best, they're not gonna break. They're really
Sure.
meant to be the best. So he never apologizes
Does
for
Neiman
what he
end
does.
up being the best?
He pulls it off at the end. He like plays a crazy solo at the end of the movie. He finally gets it right.
Yeah, and then he joins
And he's all
his
sweaty.
band too, right?
Like, right?
And then
I think
they
I might
have-
have seen that clip.
Yeah, then they have like 8 songs after to do that, like after his solo, after he's sweating stuff that they don't show. But
Well, I mean, I guess the whole point of that was like that's it. Like
He's just sitting up there.
he had fully
"Drop
just committed to being the best.
he got
And, like,
it.
that-
It clicked.
Well, like because like his family was trying to get him away from it because like it. Do you think it's unhealthy? I guess that's really the biggest question about it. It's like the pursuit of perfection, the pursuit of being the best, and how
pursuit of
arduous it is, how
happiness.
much you have to sacrifice for it. Do you think that's worth it?
It's not healthy.
But
But I
could
don't
you
think-
imagine though if we had never had songs like "While My Guitar Gently Weeps"? If we never had the Grateful Dead, we never had Steely Dan because they had given up on music.
Those guys all die at 30.
Yeah,
That's not healthy.
they often do.
Wrong.
Okay, yeah, the Grateful Dead. Some of them
No,
live
I-
for like a million freaking years and
Nah.
become dinosaurs.
No. What's it called? Steely Dan. One of them like just died recently. The other one's still playing music.
It's very sad.
They often do.
But
die
they were
young,
still
though.
like not 30.
Well, that's because they were like major dudes.
And
Major
Jerry was
dudes-
like 50 probably when he died.
major dudes.
And that's because he
live
did
a long
heavy
time.
drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're fucked up. Being really, really good.
How is
hard.
Ozzy Osbourne not dead? That is
He should
incredible.
be dead.
He's luck. That's a luck. That's a luck.
His
I'm glad he's
brain
not,
is like
though.
soup.
Except for Ozzy, I really don't appreciate you not giving Kanye your sample. But with that being said, I think the song is much better without the Ozzy sample. I think it makes so much more sense for him.
Which
to,
one?
Carnival.
Carnival. What's the other one?
So, what song were you thinking of?
Oh,
Back to Me?
the other one.
Back to Me is beautiful, big titty, butt naked women.
Back to Me. I wasn't talking about it. I don't know.
That song is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Like he literally says that one lyric, beautiful beautiful big titty, butt naked women.
Very.
Like he says it like 70 times.
I listened to this song by Trippie Redd, and it had a great beat, like such a catchy loop. It kind of had this like elevating vibe. It was
Right.
building to something.
They have the best tracks.
He spits like a catchy verse, an incredibly catchy verse right at the beginning, and then he goes, "Yeah, this is lit, 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 shit, lit."
And he just keeps going.
He says it 42 times.
It's like Lil Pump, you know.
And I remember the comment more than the song. Another beat lost to Trippie Redd in Praying Hands. Another
Yeah.
beat lost to Trippie Redd.
But the one good thing is, luckily, with rap, is hopefully someone will sample and will make something better of it.
I think the rest of the song is good. It's just, yeah, this is lit, lit, lit.
Lit, 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 lit.
What are,
Lit, lit, lit.
what are you building over there?
What am I building? I'm building something.
I tell you,
You think-
he's not a
you figure out
play.
what
He's
this
not
is?
building a playhouse. For
It's
the
a very
kids.
bad symbol, but it's meant to be a.
What song is that?
What's he building?
That the song's called "What's He Building" in there?
Oh, that looks terrible.
He doesn't have any friends.
Oh,
but
I
he gets
see.
a lot of mail.
So him just
He
talking,
spent a little time in jail.
him talking is the melody.
That's the whole song.
Wow.
It's not even a song. It's like a almost like an audiobook.
That's incredible.
It's
Yeah,
so
it
good.
is. It
You
is
hear
like
this
an
like
audiobook.
eerie ass creeping and like radio signals.
There's no instrumentals.
No.
Wow.
It's like creepy like piping. He's really good at making ambiance.
Okay, it definitely not a song though.
What's he building?
I have to look this up and
It's in an
add this to my
album, which is
playlist.
why call
I
it
wonder
a
what they
song.
would call the genre though. Soundtrack,
Ambiance?
Ambiance
maybe.
music.
I don't know if that's a genre though.
There's poison under the sink, of course.
Freddie, what's going on over here, man?
And enough
Oh my god, I
formaldehyde
can't
to
do it,
choke
bro.
on.
Man, it looks a little better.
The Fantastic Four.
Yes! You actually got it right! Holy shit.
So Freddie has just been spending this time drawing the logo of the Fantastic
the
Four.
reason why I can connect it to this podcast is because Neiman, or whatever the fuck his name is,
He's also in the Fantastic Four.
he is Mr. Fantastic way back when.
Right.
They call me Mr. Fun.
And that made me think of
Mr.
of Fantastic Four
Whoa, whoa,
because
whoa, whoa.
it made me think of them because they just announced the cast of the Fantastic Four for the coming movie in like 2025.
Is this one by Marvel?
Yeah, it's
Let's
in the
go!
MCU. In
Let's
the real
go!
MCU.
If they ruin this
in it?
movie, I'm gonna be so.
No.
Who's the cast?
The cast is I don't know I don't know Sue Storm and
The Randos.
I don't know Sue Storm and the
Is
fucking
she blonde?
Yeah, and what is the thing? I don't know their actors, but fucking Johnny Storm or whatever. The Human Torch is he's Eddie from Stranger Things. He is. Have you seen the fourth season of Stranger Things?
Eddie from Stranger Things.
Remember the guy that fucking?
The asshole.
Nah, he's the one that sells Chrissy the drugs, and then they all look for him because they think he's the one that killed her.
The one with all the hair.
Yeah, the long hair. He's the leader of the
Like
Hellfire Club.
The mate or the mullet.
Yeah,
Yeah, the asshole.
yeah, the one that everyone, but he's like not really an asshole. Everyone ends up being. He becomes like a lovable character.
I have no idea who you're talking about. I really have
Eddie
to watch
Munson,
Stranger
bro.
Things.
It's this guy. Well,
Actually, can you just look up the cast and we'll see?
oh yeah, true.
All right, everybody. This is the official cast for the
Well, the
MCU's
thing is,
Fantastic Four.
Mr. Fantastic, everyone hates it. I fuck with it heavy.
Oh, I want to know who's playing the thing.
The thing, yeah. But the what's it called?
Danny DeVito.
Nope.
Danny DeVito.
Danny
Scaled-
DeVito.
Scaled
Nah.
up.
I'm horrible with names,
Like,
huh?
It's
huge.
Mr.
Antonio
Fantastic
DeVito.
is the Mandalorian. It's Pedro Pascal. I fuck with that. No one likes it.
I don't think it really makes sense.
Why? But Joseph Quinn, he is what's his face?
Who's Pedro? Is he Mr. Man?
Yeah, he's Mr. Fantastic. That is the thing. And that's Sue Storm.
I don't know. I like.
I don't know.
Eden Moss.
I'd have to
Even-
see them when they're actually like in their actual costumes.
Yeah. I fuck with Pedro Pascal being what's his face. But hold on.
He is a good actor. I just he doesn't come across as. But he's
I,
supposed to. Mr. Fantastic is supposed to be someone who's like hyper intelligent, you know?
I heard that Mr.
What, you don't think
Cooper-
he can play as someone who's hyper intelligent? He plays the Mandalorian, he's hyper intelligent with fucking gunslinging.
No, that's more like a calmness. You know, like I see him like a heroic figure, like even in Narcos too.
But I heard
Actually, in
that-
Narcos was he Pablo Escobar?
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't he like a fucking leader of a? I don't know if he is Pablo Escobar, but he's one of the fucking drug leaders, right? Or is he a cop?
He might. No, yeah, I think he's. a
Yeah,
cop.
actually, I think he's a
He
cop.
is
I've
a
never
cop.
seen it.
He's got a good guy face.
Yeah, but
This,
I don't know.
though, this is who I was trying to
Doesn't
describe.
he though?
I think
From
he
Stranger
does.
Things,
He's got a
you
good
do
guy
recognize
face.
that?
I don't think that he's a. I've never seen him before.
That's what I was trying to describe.
That's a crazy picture.
He's
Yeah.
cool, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he really fits the character of Mr. Fantastic. What is it? What is it? Spencer Reed or something? Oh no,
Richard
Richard
Reed.
Spencer Reed is actually from Criminal Minds. Richard Reed, yeah.
What about Nathaniel Reed Richards.
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards. I'm an idiot. 'Cause what about Nathaniel Richards? Do you know who Nathaniel Richards is?
No.
He is a variant of King the Conqueror.
Okay.
King the Conqueror, I guess, is Nathaniel Richards.
You've seen the MCU's King the Conqueror.
Yeah, and he's a
horrible.
variant of Nathaniel Richards. They talk about it in
That
the
is,
Loki.
I think that's a horrible character.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, man. I'm
You-
not gonna lie.
Who's Kane the Conqueror?
He conquers time.
Yeah.
What does he look like?
Well, in the MCU, he's black. I don't think he's supposed to be though, is he? He's supposed to be like a blue guy or something.
Yeah, and
Does he
that,
have lightning powers?
no, he's kind of like a time.
He's also like really strong, right?
He's very powerful.
He's like telekinetic and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. He was gonna be like the next Thanos level. So like, what happens in the MCU is there's a person guarding the sacred timeline, which is a variant of Kang.
For all time,
Kang.
always.
Yeah.
What are they called?
The TVA, the Time Variance Authority.
Time Variance Authority.
So
Loki is a very good
he
show.
is like the overseer of that, but they don't know it. So they end up they end up killing that variant of Kang, and he was making sure that no other variants or nothing else would like go off from the timeline that he deemed the sacred timeline.
And not only that, but most importantly, he's trying to stop.
Other variants of
He's trying to prevent this universe that he's in from experiencing him
He's
in
not
other
really-
universes.
yeah, he's not in a universe though. He's trying to like stop every universe.
Because he killed himself in every other universe.
Yeah, he like the multiversal war.
This is the most powerful king that exists right now.
Did you guys watch
So he said if you kill
Everywhere
him
at the end, or Everything Always
all at once or whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, I've never seen it.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know. That was a good multiverse movie.
Yeah, so it's very
That was a
interesting.
multiverse? Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd like that.
What do you believe
Gotcha.
about that? So, like Joe Rogan too, he talked about how like, what if every time we go to sleep and then we wake up, we're in a parallel universe?
I think every time every time I go downstairs, I think a timeline of me just fucking fumbling to my death is spawned.
Facts, bro. Like that's crazy to
And
think
if
about.
I ever fall down the stairs, I'm in that timeline.
As a
Sounds too
kid,
bad.
I used to constantly have this nightmare where I would go into like one of those like toys where like you sit in it and you can like jump around,
Mhm.
and it like had wheels so you can walk around too. And I would press this button and it would launch me in the air, and I would keep going, and then I would just start falling. And right before I touched the ground, I would always wake up. Haven't had that since I was a kid, but
I did have a dream like that actually. I had it twice because it was a dream that there was a bouncy castle on top of like a pole. You know, bouncy castles, they're made of like balloon, right? Well, the pole was also made out of bouncy castle.
okay.
So my brother, he's a big dude, and in my dream he just he waddles over the corner of the bouncy castle, and just like lies there, and the whole thing tips over on its side, so it's like that, and then the fabric rips, and he falls out, and I get flung out of it through the top, and then I hit the ground with a thud. And then I'm like, lie there for a second, and then I wake up.
Interesting.
I had that dream twice.
Huh.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
Couldn't tell you, dude. It's been a long time.
Interesting. I have to say, of all the dreams I've been told, that is one of the most unique.
It was a weird one.
Huh.
I had it twice. I would remember it.
You got any cool dreams, Freddie?
Nah, but like the scary one I had as a child was I would always fall asleep in my parents' room. In the dream, I would always like wake up in my parents' room, and there would be a fucking like scary like ghost coming from the closet.
I used to have a lot of dreams too, where like I would be in a situation where like there was a ghost or something, or like something bad was happening. Like this one dream too, where like Chucky was on our house, and I would always try to scream, and nothing would come out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You're always helpless in those dreams.
Now this makes me think of a more like descriptive one. You know the Blob or whatever, or like Bob, I think his name is from like that monster movie. He's just
Yeah,
like a
the blue
blue
guy
thing.
with the white
Yeah,
Monsters versus aliens.
I think it might be. I don't know that, but yeah, that guy. I don't know, but it wasn't him. But it was like a thing that looked like him. No eye. It was just in my like downstairs house, and
Yeah.
I was just. It was my friends at the time. Me and them would like. It was like a Dead by Daylight ass situation. Or is that a game that you run away from a killer? I don't even know.
Yeah.
But it was like a game like that type situation. We were like fucking so scared. We were like in like the playroom. We were trying to like exit the house,
Yeah.
and like this guy was like trying to fucking like kill us, like absorb us,
Oh,
and we would get
wow.
absorbed into it. And he was green, not blue, and we would get absorbed into it.
Gross. That's
It was
that's a good
scary.
dream. That's a good.
Like I remember, like all my friends would always fucking like get absorbed into it. And if I was like, it wouldn't always play out the same. And if I was like about to get absorbed, it was always when I would wake up.
When
How many times did you have that? Just once?
I don't know, maybe only once, honestly. It might have been a few, but
Okay.
I don't know. I went through a phase where I was obsessed with the idea of lucid dreaming.
same.
So I would try like the practices of it.
When you're like sitting in your
And,
bed like that, right?
I really most of the times never got it.
I never got
You
it.
experienced it before though?
I have. I had a dream that I was with my two childhood like neighbors. One who lives across the street and one who lives next to me. And we were all in a pool together. And they were like, "You know you're dreaming, right?" And I was perplexed. And they were like, "No, look, try to breathe underwater. Just go underwater and take a deep breath." And
Just
against
go underwater
all
and drown
better
yourself.
logic, yeah, I do it. And I'm like, "Holy shit, I'm not drowning. This is a dream."
Wow.
Yeah,
Should have just started spinning to the top.
it was pretty cool.
Have you ever seen Inception?
I don't even talk about the top.
That movie's great. It's not as complicated as people
Have
had
you
said
ever
though.
lucid dream?
It's like a
Um,
Rick and Morty thing. People watch it and feel smart.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I've low key
I
definitely
suppose.
I
lucid
got sleep
dreamed.
paralysis once.
Sleep paralysis. How long did it last?
Not very. It was only a few minutes.
Okay, that's comforting because like some people can be hours and they're just
Yeah.
fucking.
But like
a
it
coma.
only feels like hours though. That's the thing.
No, like it's literally hours.
It was
How
weird.
long
I
could it
was
feel like though? Because it could feel like any number now.
Well, I woke up in the middle of the night
Woke
and
up
I'm
in
like
the middle.
looking through my eyelids. Like my eyes are closed and I feel that they're closed, but I can still see my room. And then I look over.
That's
and
so
There's
sketchy.
this big fat guy in a white shirt, and his like body is backwards, but his head is like constantly making like 50 different expressions all at once, like rapidly, to the point where it's a blur. And I was like,
You got a cartoon.
"Oh, this is sleep paralysis." And then I was just kind of sat there looking at it for a minute, and then I faded back into like a dream.
That's really.
I didn't wake up after.
That's wow.
It might have just been a dream, but it felt
Could've
like
been
sleep
a dream.
paralysis
That's wow.
because I couldn't move, and everything was where it was. So I don't know.
I've never had such an experience before. That is.
Well, isn't sleep? Wait though. You said it could have been a dream, but isn't sleep paralysis kind of a sort of a dream?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
It is complicated.
That is truly extraordinary, though. I mean, and like what you would visualize too, like that could be in a movie.
Yeah, so I don't mess with that stuff no more.
That's what happens. You mean you don't mess with sleep paralysis, or like that's what
I
happens
don't
when
do
you try to
that
lucid dream?
lucid dreaming shit no more.
Yeah.
I
I've
don't
never
know
like
that.
I did it way back in like 8th grade probably. It never worked for me, but like thinking about it, I have lucid dreamed and like the way you talked about it, like yo shit, I know I'm dreaming right now.
Right,
Like,
right.
I didn't do anything crazy, but like
I often forget.
yeah.
I very often forget.
Like you kind of know. I feel like all my dreams, I kind of know I'm dreaming, but like I just kind of let the dream go.
Yeah. But you make a good point with that top. Dreams do have weird physics like that. Like I'll roll a quarter across the table and it'll just go up the wall and on the ceiling.
My
You'll
dreams
throw
are
a
never
punch
like
and you'll
that.
just-
My dreams are usually so realistic,
Mm.
you know, and it's like
But can you punch in your dreams?
In my dreams, if I hold
there was only one instance. I never tried to punch, but I did shoot a cop in the face. But, I felt really bad about it though. And there was one time though, I was running. And like I was like, holy shit! Like I can really run. Like I was like fucking like I was zooming. And like usually it's the opposite, right? Like you can't.
right.
And when I woke up, I was like, I'm really fast.
Yeah.
And I tried running. And I was like, holy shit! I've never felt faster in my life.
Damn, bro,
Dang.
superpowers.
In my dreams,
I don't even know what I was running from.
in
Either.
almost every single one of my dreams, if I hold my breath, I must have been playing too much Kirby as a kid. But if I hold my breath, I will get like super zero gravity. I'll just retain momentum.
If you hold your breath,
yeah, if I hold my breath, I just
You know
retain
Kirby?
momentum.
yes.
But I never.
You're like, oh, you can like float, right?
Oh,
But it's not even like that. It's almost like gravity stops applying to me for a bit. But I never get lucid from it because I'm always like, oh, I forgot I could do that. And then I just go on with the dream.
Interesting.
Yeah. I've written down so many of them that I've like done all that shit for so long that I just remember so many dreams.
How many dreams would you say you've recorded that?
If I went on my phone and I looked at my phone's DMs and I was like, I had a dream, I would find at least like 30 dreams.
Jeez, I wish I had recorded more.
Mm.
But
Martin Luther King recorded his dream, bro, and you know what that got him? That got
I
him.
haven't-
It got him killed, but it got a lot of work done for this world.
it did. It did. Did you also know that Martin Luther King was rather promiscuous?
I feel like I heard that he was fucking another bitch,
That's
right?
true.
He
I guess he was
He
preaching
wasn't.
pretty
He wasn't
hard.
all about that Coretta
I
Scott.
don't remember what it was.
Is that-
I think he would go to like brothels or pubs or something. He would just bag bitches left and right.
Damn.
Because he's Martin Luther
I
King.
know
right?
all the
Yeah,
bitches would
dude.
flock. All the bitches would flock.
How could you not? I thought he was like a Protestant, like a real Catholic man.
Well, he
Yeah.
tried his best, but perfect is often the enemy of the good.
But
Yeah.
popularity.
So
got
too
the
is a
best of
bullet,
him.
apparently.
Nah, bro, really let the fame get to him, bro. That's before there was even social media.
That's always happened, man.
Thank you, Donald Trump, for asking me which policy you would like which policy I would prefer for you to enact first. It's very considerate of
The
you.
Donald Trump messages.
So what happened is there was like a question that they were posing where it's like, who would you like to be the president of the United States? I answered Donald Trump, and as a result of that, I've been receiving his emails and promotional things.
Cool.
I probably could unsubscribe, but I'm guessing he'll tell me when the election is, and I kind of want to vote.
It's like having a friend.
I'm guessing he'll tell me.
Like,
you think there'll be no other signs of when the election?
There will be, but I'm not going to ever miss it because you guys just heard the notification, and I certainly didn't miss it. So
He's like Clippy,
You guys
the
heard the
president.
notification. Yo, I wonder if what's it called? There's no trash bin in here, but so we won't get our visitor.
that's
Oh,
unfortunate.
nice.
She's a lovely lady.
She
We
is.
haven't talked to her, but she's lovely.
We did last time. We said we
Hardly.
shut the light off. Did we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We said, yeah, let's shut the light off.
Yeah, we probably did. We're okay.
we do what we
We're
must.
decent dudes. But,
All the young dudes. Terry the
Terry
news.
the news. Yeah, dude, I love
Do
it.
dolly do.
All the young dudes. Yeah, I got a lot of like music memorized. I got a weird memory. I remember like dreams and music, but I never remember how to do math.
I guess a piece of it too, though. Like, all right, a little bit of it might be like the wiring of your brain. Like you just the way that you perceive reality. It's not through a lens so much as you're only ever used to thinking about certain things. You've got a Jeff bucket, as it were.
The Jeff bucket.
Um,
Everyone's got a different bucket.
but neuroplasticity is very real. It's very real indeed. I mean, that's how I managed to convert from a full atheist to, believing in God.
It's pretty good.
I will admit, though, after having had that conversation with you, I faltered a bit in my belief.
Why? What happened?
You posed a lot of good questions, and the fact that I could not answer them is indicative of the fact that either A, I knew so little about it, and yet was absolutely convicted, which is just ignorant, or what you said was simply true, and I'm just sort of naively going along with it because I think it sounds nice.
I mean,
Honestly, I just
it's
think
up to your. It's up to your like thing. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to take you away from that if you believe in that. Like, it's just my. Like that's how I stand upon it.
I don't think the Catholics are right. I don't
Yeah.
think the Jews are right, and I don't think Islam is right. If there is something beyond us, which there totally has to be, because if you look down, everything gets smaller. Like plankton, they think they're the whole world. So you come back up to us. Obviously, you can go bigger than that. Why not, right?
Yeah.
I saw.
So-
My dad is a big believer in the ancient aliens.
My point is it's
So
so is
something-
my dad,
Yeah.
and I tried
If
telling
it
him.
exists, it's something we just can't even understand.
He doesn't think it's a conspiracy theory either, right? He thinks it's just reality, and like he's just been lied to his whole life.
I mean, not that he's been lied to his whole life.
That's what
because
my dad thinks.
He's always thought like that there's other like aliens out there. There's something out there.
My dad.
But he thinks that like what's it called? Like people like the pharaohs and shit. Like they talk to like God, like aliens. Like they say they talk to gods or whatever. Those people talking like
there
extraterrestrials. That's what he believes.
There
I think what
was-
fucked me up was I did microscopes today in my biology class, and I was like looking down, and it was just like little tiny ecosystems of guys eating each other. And it's
That's
Yeah.
nothing, though. I mean, you can look at electrons.
but I'm just saying, like they were just eating each other and like reproducing, and like that's what we do.
Do you know what?
So-
Yeah.
And we're just like they could never perceive above the microscope. So why am
Which-
I to believe that I'm the biggest thing?
They're still three-dimensional. It's just you have to think about like the dimensions that they exist in are so much
That's the
smaller than
re-
ours.
I know it's so weird. They just cannot perceive us at all. It's impossible.
And what else was I going to say? Like so in biology, I had the same experience as you. Like my teacher's shown us this video of mitotic division at the
Mhm.
microscopic level, and it was so rapid, so intense, and yet still like I think about how sensitive, how fragile a single cell is.
Right,
Like you can easily rip it apart, or like a paper cut,
for sure.
and just like it's just incredible. It's literally like magic.
Yeah.
But it's not magic.
It's biology.
We call it science.
And
I had tried to say that, well, what makes it so incredible is God. And Freddie made me realize that many people had used that to also do things like excuse the Crusades. Rasputin was killed because of religion.
Jesus was killed because
Jesus was, but he was a
wasn't
Jew.
he kind of killed before religion?
I thought
No, he was a
Rasputin
Jew.
was killed 'cause he was
But
talking
like,
to
is
him.
it how though? How could Jesus like be a religion if he is the fucking?
Dude, so Jesus,
I thought it all came from
Okay,
him in
well,
his story.
There were Jews for the longest time.
Old
and then
Testament is
Jesus
Judaism.
came around.
Oh, so
and
Jesus,
then
when
half of
Jesus
the-
came
when
around,
Jesus
that was like
came-
the rebirth of Jesus Christ.
that was the New Testament was pretty much made because everyone had to interpret what reality was after the death of
In the
Jesus.
context of Jesus. Because half of the Jews were like, this guy's telling the truth. He's got to be the Son of God. And the other half of the
The
Jews were like,
disciples.
we're just going to stay Jews. And that's where the split happened.
And then one nigga went so far. I'm black. I'm black, by the way.
we definitely just tried it. It was just funny that came out of nowhere.
One guy went
did
so
one
far
for
as to
episode.
even try to fucking poison Jesus.
Yeah,
Crazy. Judas?
He's,
Is that Judas?
I believe it was.
he's a nice guy, dude. Jesus was a good guy.
He killed a plum tree because it didn't want to give him a plum. It was out of season. But I mean,
Have you never kicked a table because you stubbed your toe on it?
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying.
Neither was he.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that either. It's just, I mean, I can see why the Romans would have thought, okay, maybe this guy isn't the Son of God. You know,
Mhm.
he
Did he really turn? Do you think
Well,
that he really
that
turned
is
water
a-
into wine?
No.
Yeah,
Did he
That
really
is-
walk on water? I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a
Like,
bold claim.
But then again, did Moses split the sea?
That's why I
come down
don't
and
believe in
say,
religion,
I am
because
the-
I personally believe he did not. He did not split the fucking sea. He did not walk on water. He did not turn his fucking blood into wine or whatever he did. And his bread in his body into fucking our bread till we can munch upon his body.
Right.
we have to have video.
Yeah, we do have to have video.
Absolutely.
Gotta get the video.
Okay. Yes. What's up with the bread? The body of Christ is bread, and then it turned into a little like fucking biscuit.
Yeah, a bisco cracker.
Why?
Because there's only so much to go around, I guess.
No, yeah, that's literally all it is. It's just like they were so impoverished that like to them like a cake was a bread.
It is a really just a humble religion. Or it should be.
How come he didn't give them fucking water? Like he gave them bread and wine. How
If
come
we
he didn't
really
give...
lived off the text, we would be like kneeling.
Why
to
would he
God
give them
every
wine?
day.
Wine would dehydrate.
That's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't he give them water? He gave them wine. He gave them fucking bread and wine.
For the Last Supper though? Like this was just they were being a little bit.
Wait.
Mhm.
All the I thought that's what he gave them that as like a, oh shit, you guys are starving. Here's some food and drink.
That might have
I
been-
didn't know that.
No.
Wait, all he gave them was for the Last Supper was bread.
No, it was a whole feast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
big dinner.
So that they just say bread as the.
the daily bread. No, because
Well, it's like you pass bread. That
Jesus
expression
came
means
from
like
humble beginnings, and bread. Poor people eat bread. The richest people in the world eat bread.
yeah.
We all eat bread.
You have that, but additionally, you have the idea too that to break bread with someone that's the capacity to share, and so like you matter equally as much as I do.
There you go.
So, and
So
like
he turned his body into.
Not literally.
I know, but like that's what I thought he gave them that so that.
so we
But
should
I thought, yeah,
perceive
it symbolized him sacrificing himself in a way
Yeah.
to make the other people,
radical kindness
Mm.
to make the other people like nourished, I guess.
Yeah.
to satiate their needs.
Yeah, to satiate their needs. Yeah, good way to put it.
He loved people. And he had the power of
But
God.
like,
Wish I had
there ain't
the
no
power
way
of
that
God.
motherfucker really.
I had the power of God. I went to UMass, and I full out did crosses, and my partner had left. We were playing beer pong.
Mhm.
4 cups left, and I was in redemption. I hit all 4 of them after doing a cross after each shot,
Damn.
and I
Would
was like,
God want that?
Yeah,
he did
why
that
not?
day.
He did
He
that
did
day.
that
I guess
day.
he did.
Why not?
Well, because here's another thing too. Like,
He worked
like
in mysterious ways.
if people
Yeah.
believe in God, then they're less likely to perform bad actions, and even if they're not sins, like just like the idea that you would want to perform like tax evasion.
You know why? Because they're afraid of getting punished.
Yes.
They don't want to
But
go.
that's another thing
Yeah.
too, though. So what I was saying with the externalizations, like to get guilt and shame. Sometimes it can be, you can misconstrue like that shame or guilt, and in actuality, it's just fear of consequence.
Mm.
You don't want to get caught. It's not that you
That's
don't
fair.
like what you're doing. It's just the idea that people would know about it makes you a little iffy.
Yeah. You only if you turn yourself in, that's guilt. You know.
Yeah.
Facts.
Unless-
If you turn
unless
yourself
it's like-
out, that's fucking
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen Blacklist?
yeah.
Blacklist, no.
That's another show about like a crazy. This is like a criminal mastermind. He's not just
My
a serial
parents
killer.
love that show.
Hey, the first scene is of that series. He walks into like the
works with the
FBI or
FBI,
something.
right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he walks into their like headquarters in Quantico, and he just gets on his knees, puts his. Well, actually, first he's like, "I am this guy who is, blah blah blah." He just gives his name, but like,
Quantico.
yeah, and then he just walks in, and like she's like, "Oh my God, it's this guy," and they call it in, and then like while they're like getting prepared to like arrest him, he's already getting on his knees and stuff. That is one instance in which someone who turned themselves in did not believe in guilt, though, because he then goes on to use the FBI to enable his criminal behaviors.
He probably.
Can I watch that show? My parents always tell me
You
to
know-
watch that shit.
I would recommend it. I'm not going to finish it,
There's
but
a
it's pretty decent.
there's a movie called I Saw the Devil. I Saw the Devil. It's a Korean movie, and it's about this crazy psycho murderer guy, and he kills a detective's wife and kid. So the detective finds the guy, and the detective had cop training. This guy's just a lunatic, so he kicks the shit out of him, Korean style, and puts a tracker in his mouth. So now, every now and again, this guy just remembers his wife and kids, gets pissed, and then he beats the shit out of the guy.
All right. We'll be right out.
And
All right.
But anyway, the point is that he turns himself in at the end so that the detective doesn't kill him.
Okay.
He'll be in protective custody.
What is this movie called?
I Saw the Devil.
I Saw the Devil.
Watch it.
Well,
On that note, we're gonna have to end because we just got
we're
told someone
getting
else
the
has
boot.
room.
Someone
Yep.
else is going to be coming in here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching.
That was
This has been episode 7 of
Seven.
Cave Convos. I have been one of your co-hosts, Dale Bear, joined by
Jeff Grizzly.
and
Freddie,
Polar
Reggie the
Red.
Bear,
Thank you.
Polar Red, yeah.
thank you very much for watching as always. We hope you hear from us again. Goodbye.
Peace.